Episode 15 Wayfarers, it's back! Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the hottest show on Twitch. My name is Jimothy Stubble Bubble, and I am joined by none other than Apoptosis the Goblin King himself, the Dungeon Master, Mendax, the most righteous rogue probably, and Nigel, the Virgin God, the Wizard. And Call the Kenku, he'll probably show up later. It's awesome to be back. We've had an amazing set of events happening in Tol Karabad. The party has been traveling about, trying to get their bearings and what with all, unlocking the histories and the mysteries of the wizard's mind and settling scores with the Thieves Guild and fighting dwarves in the back alleys. But the team may or may not leave the city at some point to set out on a new adventure in Wayfarers.
Yes, we are back, everybody. Thank you all so much for your patience as we had a few weeks of break. Not bad to delay, build up the hype a little bit. I'm not opposed to it, but I hope everyone has been doing well. It's awesome to see Ash and Pig and Neuro all back for another episode of Wayfarers. Episode 15 actually is the one we're on. We've been going 15 episodes strong. I think that's pretty damn impressive. I don't know about you guys. So let's go ahead. We'll do a quick recap. Does anybody want to try to tackle a recap, or do you want to leave it to me?
I am so keen to leave this one to you. I'm like looking through my notes and I'm like,
I could
please,
never do it justice.
Lord DM Apop, please refresh our memories.
Fair enough. I will go ahead and I'll take the lead on this one then. So you guys in the previous episode, and the one before that, we'll just kind of go through a quick synopsis here. Nigel recently discovered that it was his master, Master Nivix, who raised him, who has created or has something to do with these rings. So you've kind of unlocked that memory, and now you're trying to tackle the effort of getting back to him. If you guys recall from the sort of country map, you're all about as far away from the Lonely Tower as you can be. And it would take you close to, at minimum, a year of travel on foot to get there. So you're looking for alternatives. And while you're looking for these alternatives, you guys did a couple of side things. You got back the most important shoes I've ever had in a game of Dungeons and Dragons. And you met with the king, who has revealed a little bit of a mistake that he's made in losing one of the powerful dwarven artifacts, which is a key that allows for some kind of travel. A little bit vague on the details, but you know that there is some kind of artifact that the dwarves have. And Nigel, you kind of can recall how rare it is to have sort of teleportation magic. So you guys have decided reluctantly, I don't know, you guys seem to really like Tol Karabad. Maybe we should have just stayed here for the rest of the game. I think that would have been pretty fun, I guess. You guys have decided to aid him in retrieving this artifact, which has what he believes, and you guys have tried to corroborate that story with the Thieves Guild, has been stolen by orcs in the area, and sort of as they're at their stronghold. And you realize this is quite a bit of a task, as there are a good number of them, but he has assured you that he believes in your abilities and has procured for you a vessel to make the trip to the orc stronghold. Does that sound about right? Anybody have any questions? It has been a little bit, so, it's always good to get a refresher in there.
I would just like to point out that my amazing bartering skills were overlooked in your summary.
That's right. You did barter with the absolutely and totally human shopkeeper of the Wizard's Closet, the secret store of Tol Karabad, and you did a pretty impressive job. Yes. You got the shoes back, and you were able to get I believe it was some kind of elixir or potion that allowed for some speed enhancements or something of the such.
Yes.
Something like that, right?
Some kind of swiftness potion, I'm sure.
Some kind of swiftness potion. We'll see how that one will come into play. We'll see if Call is brave enough to muscle down that drink. But yeah, besides that, I think that pretty much covers everything. Did I leave anything out that you guys can remember? Or were there any details Just wanted
Steven.
to make extra sure. Yes.
I just wanted to
Steven
say that.
the cat, one of my most favorite NPCs to voice and do.
We've also, of course, gotten a little bit more acquainted with our rings as well, right? So that's something
Yes.
where we're looking forward to potentially experimenting with. They're all kind of imbued with spider poison magic, and wasn't it Mendax used it slightly differently to the rest of us? I think.
Yes, I directed far more, shall we say, unbridled rage and probably unjustified anger towards it. And then it became very sticky. It
Yeah,
would
that's
not come
right.
off
So
until I smacked something.
it coated your hand where when Call and Nigel kind of you guys figured out how to activate the rings. So that is a big step actually for all of you. And yeah, you guys were able to conjure up some form of poison or green venom of sorts that doesn't last forever. But yes, when Mendax sort of approached it with the emotion of anger, maybe the intent to do harm, even, it formed more of a glove than just like pooling poison in your hand. And it didn't hurt you guys, so that's another kind of key importance there. And I would say the last thing.
Had
Oh,
we
go ahead.
figured
Yeah.
out if we could put it on a blade to use it more effectively? I can't remember if we tested that.
You guys haven't tried. You had the single activation, so you learned that it is a once per day sort of thing. So you guys kind of use those charges for the day at the time. You haven't tried yet, but that's I'll say that's a very good idea, Pig. That's a really smart thing to maybe test out there in the future.
Otherwise, we just need to get people to shake hands with us as
just,
much as possible.
just slap them.
I'm going to go around
and
slapping
slap them.
Get me in a circle of orcs, and I'm just going to get really pissed off and circle slap the shit out of all of them.
Got it.
Windmilling.
And one of the other things that's kind of been a bit of a that last episode, actually, a lot got done, even though you guys didn't progress into maybe the story. You guys did a lot of good things. You also were able to get Goop. So Goop, the golem, is back, and he's been repaired. He is a lot more responsive, for instance, to Nigel's commands. The simple sort of tests that you put him through, you're able to tell him to go over. He's a lot more emotive. He's a lot more responsive. It seems like there is a bit of intelligence maybe behind his form now. So definitely a bit more that you can do there. So I definitely recommend experiment around, see what the extents of your of his commands and what you can try to do are.
I believe he actually had a second record, but we haven't figured out what it does yet, because we've he's done a big heal revival sort of spell, but we're not sure exactly. But we figured out obviously how to activate it now. It's like casting a spell. So I believe Mendax and Carl can also do that as long as they're holding the orb, which I'm normally hanging on to the kind of little black control sphere.
Yes, so whoever really has that control orb can issue the commands, essentially, for the golem. And yes, he does have a second record. You do know the first one is some manner of healing. You don't know exactly what the, how big or small the healing is going to be, but it's some form of rejuvenation, we'll call it. And yeah, there is a second record in there that you guys have not tried out yet. So we'll have to see what that does. And all sorts of mysteries, opening doors, and just lots of different things to do. I'm excited. I'm happy to be back, honestly. It's been a long time. And I have had several weeks now to make a slew of maps for just specifically this session and probably next session. And knowing how fast you guys go, probably the third session after that. So I'm excited. I'm ready. I'm pumped. I'm ready to roll. How about you guys?
Don't you go putting this on us, okay? If the NPCs weren't so funny and nice, then we would have left a long time ago.
So what you're saying? I need to kind of lower the quality level of the. I see.
Have them be kind of dull and uninteresting and unmemorable.
Yeah. This is Jackson. He's just the shopkeep.
Yeah.
I don't know. I spent a long time throwing shit at the first one who was deaf and never actually said anything to me, so.
That's true. You guys seemingly can make anything interesting.
You shouldn't
Doesn't
underestimate
matter how
our
mundane.
ability to be distracted.
I'm learning that with every new session, that our ability to get derailed is just incredible. It's up there with the mightiest of D&D groups. But it's something I love. And I think it's something that breathes a lot of life into your guys' characters and the campaign in general. So happy to go along with it. Happy to flex those improv muscles. Yeah, last session I had planned none of that. None of that was planned in the slightest, but it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, I just love looking through my inventory whenever I want to have a little bit of a reminisce, because there is so many random things like hot sauce.
Yeah.
And there's even the things which I've used up, but I leave them there just at a zero quantity to remember, like hallucinogenic mushroom bag, blue spider mushrooms.
The wonderful excursions you guys have had with the random NPCs. Definitely, I don't know if this is a bit of a spoiler or not, but Pig, you're going to want to make sure that you have your spell list prepped, ready to go, that you've picked which ones you want. You definitely get the sense that this might be a combat intensive encounter based on the words of the king, and that you are moving into hostile territory. These guys are not your friends, and you're gonna have to persuade them to give you back said artifact, which I believe he revealed to you was just a plain looking key. I believe that was said previously. It's just a plain looking copper key. So, all right. Shall we pick up then where we left off last time? I think I'm ready to roll. Are you guys good to go?
Oh, yes.
I'm so ready.
Let me get my dice. Dude, I'm not even... I'm actually, you know what? I'm not ready. Where are my dice? Oh, Jesus.
The readiest.
All right. These will do.
Jesus.
Perfect. So you guys had a couple of hours between your confirmation with the Thieves Guild. If you recall, you went to speak with the Thieves Guild that Mendax has a contact with since she won the tournament. And you guys were able to confirm more or less. I mean, you're not 100% certain, but you now have a fairly good feeling that there may be some treachery going on. You guys were kind of in disbelief that orcs would be able to break into the town and steal such a mighty artifact. But it sounds like the Thieves Guild is roughly corroborating that story, and that there were a lot of attempted break-ins to the city, if we can call it that. And though they believe that they were able to stop them all. So they're not quite sure if any were able to get in, and if they were, what they took. But you did bribe them as well to get a look into the ledger and confirm, at least on an official capacity, that no one in the Thieves Guild stole that artifact, because as you learned, they keep a log of everything. It's kind of an enchanted ledger, if you will. And between that and the couple of hours that you guys were going to meet Stumpy outside the city, and where he was going to get you a boat, you guys said that you wanted to get snacks. So what specific snacks have we gotten? And how much money did we spend on that food?
I have 0 gold, so I only borrow off my friends at this point.
And I've just become the pocketbook in more ways than one.
I have 1 gold.
Mendax is sitting on like 800 something or 600 something, and Nigel has 0, and Call has 1. What have I done? That's given all the money to the rogue.
Nigel, what
only 589. I spent 200 on shoes and a potion.
That's right. Shoes that Nigel sold.
I feel a massive case of income inequality. I don't know.
I made some error somewhere.
You go steal kitty tiaras, and you can have this much money as well.
You stole a tiara of a cat? Who would want that?
What do we have? Okay, so what snacks? Do you think they have salted and roasted plantain chips?
Roasted plantain chips. You know what? We'll leave that one up to the dice.
Sounds like a tropical
High or low,
thing.
Mendax? High or low?
Well, they trade. They could, it could be imported in.
That's true.
Are you betting on a high roll or a low roll, Mendax? Which one would you like? We'll see if they have these.
I'm going to go. I like my rolls the way I like my roads. I'm gonna go low.
All right. Unfortunately, you search around the town for these plantain chips, and you're just not able to find anything that kind of matches that description. It looks like it might be not the right environment for them to thrive in, and their export due to the virus disease was halted.
Oh, well.
So they're out of them currently, I'm afraid.
How about some jerky and nuts then?
They
Are we
certainly
good with
have
jerky and nuts?
Jerky and nuts.
Maybe some fine oat cakes?
Some oat cakes, absolutely. Yep, all of the above.
Can we get a couple flagons of mead?
In a to-go cup.
Yes, I would like it to go. I want it to go skin of ale, please. I would like at least 2.
Absolutely. You can spend some money and purchase a water skin, pour out the disgusting contents, and fill it with some sought-after mead. 100%.
Oh, that's true. I already have a water skin.
Oh, well, you only need to buy one then. Just dump out the useless water that's in it and pour some beer in there.
I don't trust the water, honestly.
I mean, that seems pretty smart.
Okay, then I would like to do that. I would like to purchase another water skin, dump out the fetid water in there, and then I would like to purchase.
It's pretty clean water.
Is it though?
Yeah.
Yes,
but
it is.
That's okay.
Is it though?
Yes, it is. Yeah, it is. But that's okay. You can dump it out anyway.
Okay, well then I won't dump it out. I'll drink it, but then I'll put.
Okay. Hydrating up before you start drinking. That's a smart plan. We'll say all of these expenditures, they cost you about 5 gold to have enough food for you and the gang, and 2 flagons, 2 water skins filled with mead. Any other specific items? Food, preparations. This is your last chance, we'll say, before heading out on a possibly dangerous excursion. So if you've got anything left that you want to do, now is the time to do it.
How many things do we have that can actually heal us besides goop?
So you have goop, and then however many, I mean, I kind of leave it on the honor system to the inventory tracking and management. I know that Neuro Call should have a couple of potions.
I have 1 healing potion.
Okay, 1 healing potion there. I don't know if anyone else has any. Healing has not been.
I have none. That's why I was asking.
Okay. So you got goop.
If you get a hole cut in you, I can make it look like there's not a hole in you. It won't make you feel any better, but you'll look better.
That's true. You could go to see the doctor that you guys have been, kind of talking with, and see if he has any medicines, salves, healing potions, perchance. He has been tending to Nigel's leg.
Idea.
Yeah, if you want to, you're more than welcome to go talk with him. Try to filch some potions off of him.
Good call.
Okay, who's gonna go and talk to the dwarf buddy?
I think Mendax is very persuasive. I can kind of come along and just groan a little bit, and my leg, it's hurting me, and maybe get a bit of pity.
Sure.
Group effort.
Yeah, I could go.
We do have the master negotiator Carl here as well.
That would be me. Yes.
Quite skillful in his negotiation powers. Yes. Certainly didn't get taken for a fool at the shop. Not at all.
I got a deal and a steal.
A deal plus a steal.
Yes.
You don't get that every day. So all 3 of you gonna go talk to the dwarf, cleric, alchemist, healer. Not quite sure exactly what he is. A little bit of all the above.
For sure. I mean, I think so.
Okay, so y'all head over there after your shopping trip, picking up various snacks, various and random odds and ends. Even though you're not listening to your better half of your brain, you do take some water as well. It's a very hot lava lake after all, and you could get dehydrated. But you guys head over to your rooms, which are still being stood guard over by the resolute dwarven guard post, kind of the elite, if you remember. And you head over. Nigel, you're familiar with the sort of office, operating room, kind of just area that the doctor, we'll call him, hangs out in. And he is currently in, though it is pretty late at night. As you enter the room, you can see Nigel, Cole Mindex. Oh, bloody hell, what time is it?
It's gonna be just after midnight.
Well, I should probably be getting some rest then. What can I do you for?
Well, we would like to get some amazing potions. We're about to embark on a business trip.
Leaving so soon? Well, I guess you guys actually have been here for quite a while. Nigel, your legs looking pretty nice. Did a pretty good job, if I say so myself. Some potions. There are a lot of different... Gratitude. Yeah, you're welcome. It's the least we could do for saving the city. So, these potions. What, can I get any specifics? What, there are a lot of potions, as you know, being a revered alchemist yourself.
Well, as you, I'm sure, know, well-rounded warband features a party that works together very well and effectively, and we have many parts of that. We have flame, we have sharp objects. Mendax likes to stab people in the crotch and from behind sometimes. There's a bit of sneak, a bit of fire, but we do lack in the ability to take care of our wounds during combat. And I mean, my leg especially still does twinge a little bit every now and then. And we are actually going on a bit of a top secret mission for some very important people here in this city. Not meant to say any details about it, but basically anything that could allow us to recover from wounds while we're in battle might help us.
Oh, you need a few healing potions.
Yes, we do.
All right. Sure. I'm sure I could conjure up a few for you. Yeah, he likes you guys, and again, he's pretty indebted to you. Again, for essentially saving his entire population and city. And he'll kind of scrounge around in a box behind the counter. A few boxes he's kind of poking through, murmuring to himself as he goes along. And he pulls out sort of like a leather case, almost like a binder. And he dusts it off. And he opens it up and kind of holds it up to the light. He's taking a look and seeing if there were any leaks or if it still looks good, if it's dried up. You should be fine for you three. Here you go. And he'll hand you over, it has 3 potion of healings in it. So whoever wants to hold on to that, or if you each would like one, that is up to you. He'll give you the case as well. It's kind of like giving someone a Tupperware container. Seems like he's got quite a bit of them, so yeah, anything I could do to help out the heroes of Tolkar Abad, you just have to ask.
That's so fantastic. Thank you. I mean, do you have any other potions lying about you think might be helpful for people going into battle?
Is there anything in particular that you're looking for out of character? Is there something that you specifically want to get? I'm not saying he'll have it.
Nope.
He is like a healer. he's like a cleric kind, right? So a lot of what he does is about, asking him for healing potions makes sense, right? He probably has the medicines and herbs to create that sort of thing, but asking him for like a fire breathing potion, maybe he has it, probably not, but you just want to see if he's got anything else he thinks could help you out.
Yeah, are there potions that he might have that would like raise constitution or dexterity or anything of that sort?
What about curing a poison?
Ooh, there.
Okay. And I think you guys still have those poison cures from the druid, if I'm not mistaken.
I thought that was offensive poison.
No, that was like, you've been poisoned. Drink this. And then you won't be poisoned anymore.
Oh, I still have it listed as spider venom. But we'll count it as good spider venom.
It was, yeah. So she procured the druid. This is long ago now. But the druid procured some of the spider venom and was able to make an antitoxin from it in order to aid you, which you guys didn't actually end up needing, which was, hey, that's how it works sometimes. But I figured, they're going into the spider cave, give them some poison heal. They've got no way to heal poison, being that all they do is shoot fireballs, stab people, and steal stuff. So might as well arm them. But for your question, Mendax, give me just a straight D20. Tell me what you roll. We'll leave it up to the dice to see if there's anything neat.
I got a 16.
What'd you get, Mendax?
I got a very solid and impressive number 5.
Number
Ooh,
5.
Now remember,
5
please
is a
remember
good
that
number.
5 was the number of Joe DiMaggio. Also Johnny Bench. It's a very powerful number. A very powerful men.
It's a prime
Just
number,
throwing
too.
that out there.
It is all of these things. It is all of those things, but not more, I'm afraid. As he says, I just don't really have much that I think would be useful for you in combat. He'll kind of rattle off a few ingredients that might help with, like, bad breath and things like that.
Actually, I'll take one of those.
Sure, he gives you a mint.
I mean,
Thank
we'll
you.
take that for sure.
Yeah, here you go. It is a mint for you. So he has mints for everybody. Anybody that visits him, whenever little kids come to his kind of office in order to, they got a upset stomach or something like that. Little mint. So Nigel, mint for you as well, my friend.
Do you maybe have any something for luck, perhaps, proven or otherwise?
Here's a mint.
Oh, a lucky mint. Thank you.
Yes, I got one for you.
Hey, how come he gets a lucky one and I get a regular one?
Don't tell Nigel. I gave you a lucky one too.
Oh, excellent. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Anything else I can do for you three
luck.
before you go on your top secret adventure?
How about a fist bump?
Sure, he will. Anything for you, bud.
Awesome. Thank you so much for taking care of us while we've been in Tol Karabad, and we may be back soon.
I hope so. If you do ever find yourself around here, please come and visit.
Very good. I believe we should be off. We have a meeting.
Yes, it is time to meet Stumpy. So you guys have your mints. You have a few more healing potions now. Very good call to stock up on those. You've got your refreshments and your beverages. I think you guys are ready to go. Man, you guys are so stocked. You're so ready for this fight. It's going to be awesome. You're going to throw beef jerky and mints at them. Perfect.
Yes.
No, we're not. I'm going to eat the beef jerky, and I'm pretty sure they already ate their mints. Nigel looked like he ate one. No one's taking my mint.
Okay. That's fair. You guys will say, if you are truly ready to go, you head out of the city. It is dark outside, very dark. It's about midnight, right? That's when King Stumpy said he was going to meet you around the side of the kingdom, around one of the walls. So it's very dark outside, but it's also like, it's kind of strange, right? Because the floor is very bright but the sky is very dark. So it's got this weird, almost stadium effect going on. If you've ever been to like a live show or a sports event where it's pitch black outside, but there's a ton of light everywhere. So it's kind of messing with your head a little bit, but it's casting some very cool shadows, and it's kind of the orange warm glow of the outside. It's cooled down significantly, but it's almost like a comfortable heat, where you're refreshed from the midnight air, but still kept warm from the lava that's down below. Yeah, you guys head out. There are guards that are standing there. They'll look at you a little strangely, but they recognize who you are, and they figure, yeah, okay, you guys just can go and do whatever. You've essentially given a free pass to pretty much go about the city as you please. And once you're out of eye shot of them, you walk around the side of the wall. And who would be leading the sort of single file? It's not a wide area that you guys can walk around, so you kind of have to go one at a time.
I would be in the front because I have the enthusiasm and the flow. I'm just getting in the rhythm.
All right, fair enough. Call leading the charge. You walk for probably about 5 to 10 minutes or so until you come to it's kind of a wide area where the ground is. It's almost like a platform, if you will. Maybe one of the secret side entrances. You look around, you don't see any obvious doorways, but sitting there in his kind of custom-made wheelchair is King Stumpy, and he's got kind of like a cloak on. He's trying to not look so obvious, even though he's probably the only dwarf in the city that uses a wheelchair. And he kind of he doesn't quite know who it is at first, and he'll put on a bit of a voice. Oh, who is that over there? Who are you three?
I'm Stompy too.
Oh, good. You made it. You decided to help me out.
Aye.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Come, quick. We don't have much time before they'll realize I'm gone. We gotta get you guys to the boat. I'll give you the directions, and then you'll be off.
Top secret mission.
Any questions before you go?
Are there any types of magics or things we could look out for? Do you know anything about the orcs? Are they allergic to anything?
No, they're not allergic to anything.
Wow.
He'll say they're known for being fierce, ruthless combatants, interested in putting as much pain as possible into their enemies before they die. Any magic they have is of the most foul and devious types. I wish you the best of luck.
Well, it's a good thing we got beef jerky then.
Oh, that'll come in handy.
It will. Thank you, Stumpy, for arranging our transport. We
No
can
problem.
get home covertly and then have a good night's rest while we are hard at work.
Yeah, he will kind of wheel himself over to the side where there is a rope hanging down off of the side of the cliff, heading down to the lava lake, if you will. And you can see down there that there is a small vessel. It looks fairly similar to the one that you guys used previously with Stumpy to find the Magmalisk. But this one has several sets of oars in it. There are specifically 3 sets. And he'll say,
Whenever you're ready to go, just head down there. I've put in a couple of extra oars for you so you can all paddle.
and he'll give you directions. He'll say,
Head east. Take the main lava ways. You're sure to run into it.
Very good. Thank you, Stumpy. Fist bump.
and he will fist bump you as well.
Awesome. Let's go, guys. Come on.
One last question. Is it on a hilltop?
No. It's in the middle of the lava.
It's in the middle of the lava. Okay. No way to miss it then. Thank you,
No,
Stumpy.
you'll know it. Trust me.
We'll keep a
Let's
close
do
watch.
this.
Let's go. Okay, so we take the rope down into the boat.
Huzzah!
Yes. So you guys can take your time. So no need to roll or anything like that. I'm not gonna have you fall off into the lava and die here. And yeah, you all descend down to the boats one at a time. Call, assuming you're carrying Goop or kind of strapped to your back on the way down. And as soon as Stumpy sees you guys enter the boat, you see his figure kind of come back over the side of the cliff, assuming probably that he's left. So you guys are on your own. You can head east, and he said to stick to the main lava ways, and you're sure to run into it. If you guys are good and ready with those directions, we can kind of do it similarly to when you guys were on the boat back in Lakewood. Since all three of you presumably will be paddling the boat, it should be fairly easy for you all. You can see that the oars are, again, that heavy stone, not quite as heavy as the ones that Nigel was using that first time, but they are still pretty taxing. So if you guys are going to row, I will get athletics checks from each of you. We'll see how quickly you're able to make progress, as lava is a bit more difficult to go through than water.
13.
Okay.
5.
And +0. Okay.
6 for me, actually.
Okay. 6, 13, and
I've got a 1.
all right. It's pretty slow going from the start here. You guys feel pretty fresh. You feel pretty relaxed, but maybe you're just not quite in sync yet. You guys you haven't all rowed a boat together, and none of you are all that skilled at it. There is a certain amount of finesse and synergy that is required in order to make progress as a team. Some of you guys are rowing at the wrong time. Some of you guys are kind of turning the boat the wrong way on accident. It's a little bit of
You're rowing it in the wrong direction. Like this.
Spendax is rolling backwards.
She's reverse rowing us.
Nobody told me how to do this. Do you want my help or not?
Yes, in the correct
Literally.
direction.
Oh, that's great. Oh, that's amazing.
Just look at Nigel, see what he's doing. Do that.
It's
I
a
was
bit
doing
difficult.
that.
You were doing the opposite. And
I'm
he was
pretty
making
sure
it harder on
he
us.
was doing.
Were you doing that,
It
Nigel?
looked like this.
Then you were doing it wrong too. Okay.
Call being the only one to properly row the boat, as the other two are keeping.
And you pull it toward you at the low part. You pull it toward you at the low part.
This is so hard.
The last time we were in a boat, I did not row. I simply sang the shanty.
Well, then you are developing real-world skills right now.
All right. After the stern talking to from Call the Boatmaster, give me another athletics check, you guys. You make almost no progress to start off with, and it's been about an hour.
21.
All right.
20.
Oh, Nigel's got it.
Well, I was just offended, but just to prove that I was not doing it incorrect, I got a 19.
All right.
good.
Everyone is synced up. You guys are ready to go. No funny business. You guys are pushing forward. Now that you're all rowing in the proper direction, you guys are able to make crazy amounts of progress. Call, it's not so hard to row the boat anymore. And you guys head off in the right direction. So you head east. Following from his description as best you can, whatever looks to be the main sort of lava ways, the main pathways to go through. And it's still dark. It's cool, brisk air, but again, that's met also with the heat from the lava that is very close to you. So it's a bit of a duality. It's almost like you guys are doing some pretty rigorous exercise, and so you're actually pretty chilled because you're sweating but it's again a very cold night air. As you guys continue for the next few hours, again, kind of heading left as one pathway looks a bit wider than the other, using your best judgment as you can. I mean, these weren't really overtly specific instructions, but you kind of have to take a stop. You take a pause every now and again. Does that one look like the bigger pathway, or does that one, you take a vote a couple times, decide to head with your instinct always to the left? And eventually, you guys do, in fact, come upon what can only be described as the Dark Tower. So we'll say, Neuro, if you've got that map, there should be one labeled the Dark Tower. Let's put it up. Guys, make sure you have the Twitch page open so you can see the map here. Yes, the Dark Tower, which is essentially this massive citadel of blackened steel in an ocean of glowing orange light. There are pillars of fire that are kind of fuming out of the different vents that take place in this large, wicked-looking castle. And you see it off in the distance, quite a ways. As you guys have been journeying so far, there's been really no disturbances. It's been a fairly calm and quiet night. But now as you guys begin to approach this sort of large kingdom, castle, citadel, whatever you'd like to call it, you can start to hear sort of the clang and the hum of activity in the distance. It's probably still about a solid mile away from you guys, as you can just see it very, very, very far off. Is there any specific way that you guys would like to try and approach?
So it is nighttime. So
Yes.
it's probably not the most visible, but lava kind of has a glow to it, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so we would be pretty easy to spot if we just went directly there. Is there a route that we can take perhaps around the side or the back?
You can see that from the direction you guys are coming right now, it is sort of wedged in between these three sort of mountainous peaks. So they have it in such a way that it limits the ability for boats to move around the sides. You could try to land, possibly, like on the left or right side, and there is a bit of an outcropping of rock that the structure is built on. You could try to like shimmy around the side if you want to try to do that, or you could divert the boat's direction and try to find a back passageway. Those are about the only two things you could do.
So if we were to divert, we'd be going around the left, right? The western side of it, or?
Well, so you kind of get a little bit of a cheating view from this angle. Can't necessarily tell if there even is a way to access the citadel on the left or the right from where you guys are, but you can chance it. I mean, you could just go around. You probably gauge, Nigel, that you have about 3 hours or so until the sun comes up, if that makes a difference to you guys at all.
I think we definitely want to try and find somewhere we can put in the boat where it's going to be out of sight, because I think by the time we're out, we don't want them to have found our boat and to have a party waiting for us when we really want to just be getting out, because I think there's going to be far too many orcs in this place for us to fight all of them. We want to be a mixture of stealth. We really don't want the full alarm to get sounded while we're here.
I agree. We should find some kind of hidden cove and set the boat there.
I am also in agreement with the idea of not being seen.
Good. Then it's a secret mission.
I propose we go around, look for a back entrance, and spot out any ideal coves along the way. We can always backtrack to one of the better ones, somewhere where we can try to hopefully get the boat out of vision of any of the watchtowers or the battlements. Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay.
Row quite fast, though.
Left or right?
Don't we always keep to the left?
Listen, I'm just giving you guys the option. I have to ask. Okay, you guys decide. You guys decide that your best shot at getting into the citadel undetected is to go to the left. Maybe try to look for a side entrance, a cove, somewhere you can stash the boat. Very smart. You guys row around, so you're essentially, if you think of it almost like a lane, and there's two sort of mountainous peaks on either side of you. You're going to have to row around essentially the mountain to your left. Does that sound about right? And then try to double back around and come back on the citadel. Okay, sounds good. It takes you a decent amount of time. As the mountain is, well, it's fairly large. Give me an athletics checks. Let's see exactly how long it will take you guys at this point.
14.
I got another 19 because I'm still being pettily aggressive with this ore.
Absolutely. Nigel, what did we get? So we got 14 and 19.
Looking good there, Mendax.
14.
Thanks, Carl.
Okay, 14, a 19, and a 14. You guys are not as crisp necessarily, but still making very good progress. It takes you probably about 40 minutes total to make your way around the side of the mountain here. But something causes you to slow. As you begin to round the side where you believe you're going to be soon in view of the citadel, you begin to hear drums. And a lot of drums, actually. You sort of begin to enter into one of the valleys, and there is a lot of drums, there's a lot of shouting, and there's a lot of kind of just clamor. The clang of steel almost sounds like a battle, but you can't be too sure. You guys want to go and get a closer look? From where you are now, you are not able to see anything, but you're certainly able to hear it.
Is this a decent spot to park the boat, do you think?
You're not really, no. You're in the middle of like the ocean.
Oh.
So no, you could possibly come up to the mountain and try to look for a spot to park the boat, but you're still a good ways off from the citadel itself. You're quite a distance away. You're maybe, we'll say, just for ease, you're about 3/4 away, or 3/4 from around the mountain. In the next 1/4, you'd become in view of the citadel. But you start to hear all these noises, kind of all of a sudden, even.
I think as we round this corner, we should be prepared to turn back and look for another option. If we do turn around and there are 2,000 orcs staring at us in the face, that would probably be dumb to proceed.
Yes, I concur. Hopefully, though, from the sounds of it, they're either having a battle or some sort of gigantic party. So either way, hopefully they're distracted and don't notice us right away.
Okay, so the plan currently, just so that I understand, is to continue going, but do so carefully and be ready to turn around if needed and dart in the other direction. Okay, you guys continue rowing forward towards the noise, which is getting considerably louder and louder as the moments move on. After probably about 10 minutes of rowing and continuing forward, you still haven't seen anything, but you haven't quite made the full bank, the full turn into that like lane, we'll say the lava way, right? The sound is getting deafening. You can't tell if it's a trick from the environment around you, if it's echoing off of all the mountains possibly. It sounds so loud. And suddenly, as you begin to turn and you begin to kind of crest the vision, and now you're looking, you can start to see the beginnings of the citadel. So you were correct. This pathway does lead around, and there is another kind of entrance, or at least another access point. Who knows if there's an entrance over there? But you see what's been causing all of this noise. About, it's a great distance. We'll just put it that way. Probably so great that you haven't been spotted. There is a legion of black warships with these sort of massive leather flags that are emblazoned with these different red symbols, all coming in your direction. They're sort of moving out from the citadel. And what you can only gather would be a raiding party or some sort of war party that the orcs have put together that the king kind of told you about before. He said these orcs, they do go out and they do kind of pillage different areas. And they're all slowly but surely making their way down as the sounds of the drums, which you can now kind of see, these massive drums that several orcs are beating on in order to get everybody to move in unison. As what you gather is at least 30 to 40 of these massive ships are making their way down this passageway.
Directly toward us.
Oh yeah, you guys are... They're not like, there they are, go get them, but they're you know, they're heading your direction. Yes, absolutely.
My avian instincts are telling me that we should probably turn the fuck around.
What do you think I'm doing? I'm already trying to turn the boat with my oar frantically.
Good call, Nigel.
A
Should
solid
we make
option.
Drum noises?
What?
The drum noises seem to really be working for them.
Yeah, it's very nice drumming.
Carl, can you drop a sick beat? And then maybe we'll row faster.
That's a beat.
All right, give me an
feel like it
athletics
worked.
check, and you guys can get +1 as the inspiration from the beat and music has driven you forward with great haste.
Well, including the +1 as well as my own +1, that's 8 for me.
12.
Awesome.
Including the +1, it's a 3. I think I was spending too much time dancing and not enough time rowing.
Everyone's like this.
Okay. You guys are sort of frantic. You're scrambling. Obviously, there is imminent danger in front of you, so you lose that coordination. It's not necessarily that you're tired, but you're not necessarily super full energy. But you lose that coordination very quickly. You fall back into disarray. It's very difficult to get the boat to go in the direction that you want. But regardless, you realize that your possibly very survival depends on you getting out of the location that you're in as soon as physically possible. And you guys do manage to make it sort of, we'll say, that 10 minutes that you took. You're back at that spot. It takes you a little bit longer at the time, but you can still hear the drumming. It has gotten louder. The speed at which those boats are moving is actually fairly alarming for the size of the boats that they're on, and presumably the construction that they're made of. I mean, again, these are these kind of massive black steel, very similar looking to the construction of the citadel itself, which can't be light. And it looks to be, as there's no wind or anything going, it's either moving forward by pure strength alone in a similar fashion to how you guys are moving, unless there's maybe something to it besides that. But you guys do begin to sort of dash out of sight, we'll say. You are very quickly caught up on, though, by the first, and we'll say the flagship of this legion. You can see it beginning to leave that sort of alleyway, if you want to put it that way, and enter the main ocean of lava where they can, maneuver and go wherever it is that they're going to go. So you see it behind you. It's a fairly good distance away, but it is closer than you would like it to be. What's the call?
Do we see any? Well, I'm looking for anywhere we can pull in and just kind of get off the lava, where we're going to be much less visible once we're off the glowing background, because it is still dark. So essentially, anywhere we can get the boat off the lava, even if it's just on a little bit of rock or anything like that.
Sure, absolutely. You are able. Let's. You know what? Give me a perception check. You do a very quick scan of the mountain that is, fairly close to you, and you try to see if there's anywhere close that might look like a good spot to bank the boat and get 20. Off of the lava. 20. All right, absolutely. Let's see here. Okay. You see, it's not an ideal landing spot. It's not like, oh, perfect. Yeah, that you can just bank the boat right there. It looks like it's a little, it's a bit more rocky than you would like it to be, a bit dangerous. You don't know if it would damage the boat to try to pull it that close, but you're not 100% certain that the boat wouldn't, would be fine. It's not like a nice shore for you to pull up to. It's sort of a very jagged, rocky area of the mountain. It's not a very nice spot for you to pull over, but if you're very desperate and you feel that that's the only way, you feel that you might be able to take a chance to do so.
Could we see like other possible areas? Like, are they like maybe 500 meters or yards away, or where? Or we're really not sure.
At that distance, it's a little too far away to make out the minute details because these aren't like gigantic rocks that are coming out of the mountain, right? It's kind of more like a shore of collected rocks that just aren't very, very good to try to dock the boat at. You might be able to find something a little further down if you want to, row for a bit longer and see if there's anything a bit more appealing farther away from the legion of warboats. Up to you guys.
What do we think, crew?
I think we should take the opportunity. We don't know what's around.
Shoot, I feel like even an imperfect solution now is better than potentially no solution.
We're gonna have to make a lot of on-the-spot quick calls in this mission.
If worst comes to worst, we can always just hold it up against the lava. And even if we can't get it up on the rocks, as long as it's up against the land, hopefully it's not as visible to the naked eye.
Absolutely. So you guys want to try to pull off and get to the shore, we'll call it, right? You guys want to kind of carino. Okay. Give me, let's see here, what would be the most appropriate? This is more of a
stealth.
It's stealth, but it's more maneuvering. You're trying to finesse the boat. I would love for it to be
stealth.
Let's see here.
Acrobatics. I'm just naming things I have large bones.
Sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand.
I do need sleight of hand, stealth, and I'm going to be doing flips while moving the boat. So acrobatics, I feel, is the most apt.
Okay.
Because the boat is going to flip over.
We will just continue to go with an athletics at this point for the sake of, I think it's probably the most appropriate since it is a physical feat to try to move the boat into place. So if you could each give me an athletics, unless one of you is not, again, this favors more finesse. So what I'm actually really looking for is how paired up you guys are. So the more of you that participate, the faster it will go, but possibly the more difficult it will be to get the boat into the position you want it to be.
Oh. Well, who has the highest athletics bonus?
I have +3.
Carl is the strongest and most muscular of us all.
What's up?
Do you think it makes more sense for him to try alone first? See if he can't get it. See if he can't get it up, and then we can help him if not.
I'll stand ready.
It wasn't intentional. There was no better way to say it that time.
All right, fair enough. Call, let's see if you can get it up, my friend.
14.
All right, a 14. Is that with the +3?
Yes.
Okay. It is a surprisingly difficult task to maneuver this vessel. It's not like a wooden boat, which is fairly light, and it's pretty easy to maneuver around. Let me take a look here. Despite the difficulties, you are able to get the boat into such a position that it's pretty banked up against the rocky shore, if you want to call it that, with the lava sort of gently careening in, almost like waves in a sense. But it is a very jagged area. Are you wanting to leave the boat and get onto the mountain itself? Or are you wanting to just kind of try to blend in? What's the purpose here?
I think we were trying to get out of sight as the primary goal, and then assess what options are available to us from that spot.
Agreed. I wouldn't want to automatically leave the boat because if they were to spot the boat and not us and take the boat, we're surrounded by lava. So
very astute.
But we could purchase a boat in the town as you did in Lakewood or Lake Town.
From the orcs, I'm sure they'll sell you a boat.
Well, I am the master negotiator.
Just put me on their boat. I'll sink all of, allegedly sink all of them.
Perfection. Okay, so we're gonna stay in the boat. Is there any other things that you guys want to try to do to stay out of sight, kind of camouflage yourselves? The thundering of the war drums kind of has continued. And just to give you an update while you're pulling this maneuver, the first of we'll call it the flagship boat, which is painted on the side. Do any of you guys speak Orcish?
Let me check.
I'm looking at it. Nope, none of you speak Orcish.
I
so
speak
it's
Infernal.
Just kind of... No, it's not written in Infernal, unfortunately. Such a useful language to have. How come it's not Infernal? What the hell? Why don't these orcs speak demon?
Yes.
That's what I always say.
Maybe I can commune with the lava.
Yeah, there you go. It's just kind of scrawled with this sort of slapdash painting. You can recognize that it's Orcish, but you kind of have no idea what it says. Probably nothing nice, though. It has kind of fully cleared the bend. And you can see just the size of the first vessel, the first boat. It's sort of staggering. It's almost like it's like a cruise ship size, you know. There are probably on that boat alone a few hundred orcs. You can get a better sense and vision. They're still quite a bit away, so they almost look like not dots necessarily, but you can make out some movement here and there if you kind of focus enough. And there's a lot of movement.
We're talking a Warcraft 2 Juggernaut here, I believe.
There you go. You got it, my man.
All
Absolutely.
Right.
Let me just get one of those artworks, slap it in here. Boom. Perfect.
I'm gonna, just to help blend things in. So with camouflage, a lot of it you just want to break up certain obvious signs, right? So the reason you put face paint on and stuff, you just want to break up the easily distinguishable patterns. So so I'm going to just weave an improved illusion. Well, it doesn't actually need to be improved. Essentially, I can only do about a 5-foot cube, but just kind of looking at the angle the boats are coming, I'm just going to create kind of like a rocky brown, kind of the same color as these mountains behind us. And I'm just going to kind of put that up in the center of where the boat is between us and them, so that it'll just help break up the shape of the boat a little bit in case any of the orcs are looking too closely. It's not going to cover the whole boat. I can't create an illusion that big, but just to break up the center of it.
Got it. So you're not putting the illusion on top of you guys, but a little bit off into the distance to break up the silhouette of the boat, so you blend in a bit more. I like it. It. Okay. Yeah, how long are you able to maintain the illusion? Is there a time limit on it, or just curious?
It does last 1 minute, but it is it's a cantrip, so I'm kind of gonna just be renewing it. Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm gonna guys, get your heads down. Let's make sure we don't break the silhouette of the boat. So just we can peer above barely, but try to keep your heads down.
All right. Absolutely. You guys you kind of duck, and Pig is left with the arduous task of refreshing this illusion, which now that it's there, if it were to just suddenly disappear, that might draw even more attention than not having it at all. So definitely a bit of a calculated risk there. But how long do you guys want to wait? Are you dead set on waiting until every boat is off into the distance? Or are you going to give it a certain amount of time and reassess the situation at that point?
I think once they're past us, we might want to get moving, because we have about just under 2 hours till daylight right now. And I think they can all get past us in probably an hour or so, but they won't necessarily be gone. So I think we'll reassess once the last boat gets past us. And if it's almost daylight, we might make a break for it and just hope that they're not looking backwards.
Okay, sounds good. So you guys are kind of you're ducking down for sure, but you're curiosity, you're peeking over the kind of sides of the boat here. Pig is. It's a very simple illusion to create. It's nothing difficult. So we'll just say you're able to maintain that using very, very small amounts of energy. There are many different sizes and shapes of boats that are kind of coming out of this this alleyway. I'll just keep calling it. Some of them are kind of huge monstrosities. Some of them are more sleek and fast vessels manned by just a few orcs at a time. Some boats seem to be pulling along other ones. There are different creatures. You can tell, although you don't know exactly what they are, that the humanoid shapes rather that are on top of the boats, they vary in size. They might not all be orcs. They might have some different kind of companions that you're not able to make out exactly what. Overall, none of the boats head in your direction. All the while, the drumming is continuing at this constant rhythmic pace. It's never broken a beat. It's continued all throughout. You can tell that there are several boats that are along this sort of caravan that are just dedicated to keep that rhythm going. And it takes an hour. It takes an hour for the boats to clear, but there are still more boats coming out of the alleyway, even past an hour. You guys have been waiting and waiting and waiting, but it doesn't. You don't know how many more there are. Whether that is that the last one? Oh no, there's another one. Is that the last one? No, there's another one. None of the boats match the size of the flagship one that left first, but some of them do. Again, they get up to kind of epic proportions. What do you want to do? It's been an hour. You can't tell if the end of the caravan is in sight or if it's going to take another hour or 2 or 3. You have no idea how many boats to expect to come out of here.
What's the distance between the passing boats and us? Is it about 100 meters, 200 meters?
We'll say you guys set up about 250 meters away. You wanted to be pretty safe. And you had enough time to really, really go a far distance. You guys have drifted some, and in the meantime, during the hour, I mean, the sea of lava, right? It's not like waves. There's not like waves crashing around, but that much movement that close does disturb, sort of the flow of the lava that's near you. So there are not so much waves as much as like ripples that come through, and they do move the boat backwards some. You can hear a bit of scraping on the sides of the rocks. You check, you look over, you make sure that no permanent damage is done. It looks safe. You guys aren't like getting, shoved back very far, but enough. It looks like cosmetic damage only at this point.
Do you think there's enough room in between these boats where, Nigel, if you cast that same illusion behind us, so the next boat coming towards us couldn't pick up our image quite as well, that there might be a chance for us to row around even further?
I mean, visibility still isn't that high, and I can maintain the illusion. If we orient ourselves directly away from them, we narrow our profile. It makes it easier for me to cover a larger portion of the boat. You two will need to do the rowing, though.
Yeah, you could just cover the butt as we make our way.
Easy. I'll have to swap my illusion as we move out, though, into lava, of course, rather than a rocky background, but that's easy enough.
All right. So the plan, just so that I understand, is you're going to head back around the mountain, back to the front of the citadel, or at least in that direction, so that you can further yourselves from the boat. So you're not trying to like sneak in past them, right? That's not what you're trying to do. You're trying to go the opposite direction.
Unless, do we think there's room to sneak in past them?
There's a lot of boats coming out of the alleyway. I'm just gonna say that.
Yeah, it's a very high traffic area.
I can't create an illusion on both sides of the boat at the same time, so it would be nearly impossible I would basically actually probably give our position away more by trying to do an illusion if I've got boats on both sides.
We should probably row the fuck away.
Okay.
It is decided.
So Paul and Mendax, you guys are going to be rowing, and Nigel is going to be kind of constantly trying to calculate and recast this illusion as necessary to cover your tracks as best as possible. Does that sound right?
Yeah, so are we heading just to the front kind of gate now? Because obviously to get away from these boats, we're kind of going back towards the front of the fortress where we initially came. So do you guys want to go up to kind of the front gate or just anywhere we can pull up against the side rocks and then creep along the wall?
Yeah, I think that might be the better option. If we're looking at the map, on the top side, the left side that we went around, there is a bit of an angle that goes in on the left side, right behind that the second fiery tower, if we're counting the center one as the first, the left fiery tower. If we put the boat in there, I believe the mountain of rock should give us at least some cover from the boats moving out, and we could try to sidle around the side over to the front, or I don't know, rappel over the side, something to that nature. But I think that might be better than going directly up to the front.
That sounds good. I'm down with that.
Alrighty. Nigel, let me get from you and see what would be the best for this. You guys do so many odd situations that aren't just covered by these skills immediately. How surprising. Give me... How does your illusion work? Because there's... Now that you're going to be constantly moving it slightly, I mean, you're not going to be, like, wildly throwing it around. Also, what's the range?
So the range is 30 feet, and it's a 5 foot kind of radius of the actual object, or 5 foot cube, I should say. Yeah, essentially, I believe I can move it. With any sort of illusion, it can kind of move around. So, in the past, I've been able to create little firework effects or a moving person or anything like that. It's just physical interaction will reveal it to be an illusion because things can pass through it.
Yeah.
I can't create well, I could actually, I guess, do sound, light, sensory effects. Not smell, but I can do a sound and the thing, but there's no sound here.
Right.
Doing, so, yeah.
Okay. What is the save DC that they have to hit in order to determine that what they're looking at isn't real?
Check against your spell save DC. A successful intelligence investigation check against your spell.
Okay, and what number is that? Usually it's at the top of your spells list, I think. There should be a number that says save DC.
13.
13. Okay, got it. All right. Go ahead, Call and Mendax. Give me athletics to move the boat. And Nigel, there's no roll you need to do, but may luck be in your favor.
5.
I got a 15.
Okay, 5 and a 15. You guys are trying to unbank the boat from the side of the mountain here. It's proving to be a bit more challenging. The lava, the water, right, whatever, is not as still as before. Again, with so much movement from all these gigantic vessels in the distance, it's proving a bit more challenging to get the boat to go exactly the direction you want. As a result, Nigel, it's actually kind of difficult to gauge how you're supposed to craft this illusion to make it feel as natural as possible. The boat, the tail of it is kind of going in these different directions. It's not just a straight shot like you were hoping for it. You're kind of banking left and right every now and again. It's not that easy. So let's take a look and see if you guys get spotted.
And I am just trying to maintain it in a middle area. I'm not trying to blot everything out. Just trying to break up the silhouette.
You better do this right, Nigel. I swear to God.
Investigation is an intelligence roll. Okay.
They will take your spoon. It doesn't matter where you hide it. They will take your spoon. Use that as motivation as you're casting this illusion.
Even orcs surely would not venture down there, Mendax. It's safe.
All right.
That's the first place an orc would look.
As you guys move off of the side of the mountain here, again, that drumming, just a constant noise in the background. You do begin to hear a subset of smaller drums, kind of pacing the other ones, but going on the off beats. They have different. It's not just boom boom. There's kind of a bit of a beat and a rhythm to it, and you can hear a smaller set of drums filling the silence in between, kind of in tune with the first one, but definitely a unique set, a unique beat. Nigel, give me a perception. You're the only one looking at that direction.
Yes. That's a 7.
7.
I guess my vision is also a little obstructed by the illusion, but
it is. You are concentrating specifically on just trying to. You're almost doing like math, right? As you're trying to okay, if this is the angle that the boats are moving to, and this is our trajectory, and this is what we're trying to get done, and you cast this illusion, and you're trying to move it as best you can. You notice one of the smaller, sleek vessels peel off from the main caravan and head your direction. Specifically now, your direction. The rest of the caravan is going kind of forward into the main ocean. You can see the line of them. It's almost goes beyond your perception and sight over to the the side of another mountain where you lose vision of them. But one of the sleeker vessels now is starting to make a fairly fast approach to your boat.
Guys, there's good news and there's bad news.
Let's start with the good news.
The good news is orcs love to pillage and raid, and I believe most of them, even if they did see us here, would still continue going on their journey to raid and pillage, which would be good because it would mean they'd be more eager to do that than to hunt us down if they were to see us.
Right. What's the bad news?
They've seen us.
Oh.
One of the boats is coming straight towards us, and it's much faster than us. I think I'm going to drop the illusion and help you row.
Okay, Call and Mendax, upon hearing this, you look over your shoulders. Give me a perception from both of you.
11.
Okay.
I got a solid 6.
Man, you guys have focused
What?
all of your energy on just rowing, I guess. Call, you look over, and Nigel said that they've seen you, and you confirm that. Mendax, you see this as well. You do see a boat. Call, you actually see that there's more than one boat heading your direction. It's 2, from what you can see, kind of in line with each other. But you can see they kind of desync every now and again, and there is a second boat following the first one. And he is correct. They are moving on your position very quickly.
Actually, it looks like it's 2 boats. But there are 3 of us, which is good news.
Yeah, good job.
How is that good news?
We're the Wayfarers. We fuck shit up.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I'm gonna put my wand back in my robe and very quickly pick up the oar. Straight to land. They've spotted us. The boat's gone. Let's get the hell out of here.
Okay, what's the plan? Where are you guys trying to head to? Are you ditching the boat and jumping on the side of the mountain and trying to make your escape that way? Are you going to try to outrun them? What do you want to try to do?
Does the side of the mountain at any point connect? Because I can't see because of the tower on the map. Does the side of that mountainous rock connect with the rock on the outside of the thing? I'm guessing it does because we had to row around it so that if we jump onto the rock, we can try to make it by foot at least onto the rock surrounding the Dark Tower.
So from where you guys were, and which was again to remind you about a mile out, it looked like, yeah, looks like it connected, but even like at a mile out, like a 50-foot gap would probably still look like it connected at that point, because you're just seeing the overall shapes, the large rocks that look like maybe there's a gap there. There could be, a 15-20 foot gap in between the rocks and the tower, or it could connect all the way. At that point, you're not 100% sure. You would have to chance it. You didn't get close enough really to confirm, oh yeah, this connects to the mountain here. It does go fully up to it. You're not sure.
And what's the distance to the actual fortress itself?
You guys are about, as you've been rowing and sort of again moving back, let's say that you are halfway from, let's say you're like a half circle of the mountain to go, which will probably take you at least another 20 minutes if you go at the same speed that you did before.
I get the feeling
I don't think we're going to make it to the fortress. I think we kind of have to get off in the mountain.
I agree.
Okay. So we can dock the boat, maybe make sure it's not gonna go away, if it's even worth it.
I think the boat's gone. I think our best bet is to evade capture, sneak our way in, and take one of their boats.
All right. That's a quick call. I like it.
I think, or we might even have to walk back if we have to through this volcanic wasteland. But right now, our lives are all that matters.
I'm for it.
Okay.
Let's go.
All right. So you guys quickly come up with the plan that this boat that you're on, you're not gonna be able to move fast enough to outpace the maybe more speedy vessels that the orcs have there, built with the maybe specific intention even of pursuit and capture. You at this point, is it safe to assume you don't really care about the boat, and if it does take any damage, because you're just jumping off of it anyways. You're just speed is the essence. Okay,
drive it like you stole it.
Yeah, absolutely. So at this point, the athletics checks are unnecessary. You guys just as quickly as possible bank the boat, crash it essentially into the side. Unless there's something you're trying to say then, next.
As we're running away, is it possible, Nigel, for you to cast an illusion behind us, making the boat... I know it can only last for a minute, so maybe if it's timed properly, if you make the boat look like it's already been damaged, so that they don't take the time to sink it or steal it. In case we need to get back.
I can't maintain the illusion. As soon as I get 30 feet away, it'll break.
Oh, god damn it. Okay, well, never mind. Fuck off, boat.
Thank you for your service, boat.
You guys crash the boat, essentially, into the side of the mountain. It doesn't take... You guys aren't, like, now sinking in lava, but the side of it is definitely badly damaged. You don't know if it would be able to survive the return trip home anyways. And quickly now, you are trying to just get from the boat and onto the mountain. Let me get an acrobatics check from you guys, as it is a kind of rocky cliff face. There's not a whole lot of great areas for your footing here, and you're trying to value speed over, well, you're just trying to get away.
Got an 18.
Okay.
12.
All right. Mendax, you're muted. You're muted, Ash.
I got a 20, not a nat 20, but with my bonus, I have 20.
All right, right on. Yeah, you guys are each able to, for lack of a better word, jump off of the boat and quickly get onto the side of the mountain. Rocks and sort of volcanic debris and ash and sort of black glass, like onyx almost, kind of clatters around as you guys are... You're not on a stable... It's not everything is cemented in place. And so that sort of clatters and breaks up smashing into the side of the boat, kind of small rocks and pebbles, as you guys are frantically trying to scale the side of the mountain here. You can see that the other boat that is still pursuing you is maybe within 100 meters now of your vessel. Let's take one more acrobatics check to see how easily you guys are able to scale the mountain and get yourself out of sight.
17.
Okay.
11.
23.
Wow.
All right. Call, Mendax, you guys are very easily able to find the correct footholds necessary for you to make a decent amount of progress around the side and get yourself out of view from where the boat is. Nigel, you are having a bit more of a difficult time. It is proving to be a bit challenging as the rocks and the footholds where you're grabbing and you're trying to make progress are kind of slipping away, and again, kind of clattering down the side of the mountain. You are not as confident that you are out of sight of the raiding vessel, which you look back now and you see it's not one, it's not two, it is actually 3 boats total that have peeled off from the caravan and are now within 50 meters of your boat. Are you going to try and just continue forward? What would you like to do?
I'm going to keep climbing. I mean, I know I've just spent a month in a library talking to a cat, but I might not be in the peak physical shape, but come on. I've got willpower, goddammit. I can make it up here.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Give me one more acrobatics check, Nigel. Let's see, with this last 50 meters of time, how much progress you're able to make.
I dig deep and I come out with a 21.
Oh, yes.
Hey, very nice. Whether it is the fear of capture, or if you just had the rock climber within you all along, too bad nobody put on those spider gloves, right? Those are a good thing to remember people have sometimes. You are able to scale the side of the mountain and get yourself out of view of the 3 orc raiding vessels as they surround your boat. You guys are kind of able to peek over the side here, like kind of you're around the bend, but you look over, you want to see a little bit of what's happening. Are they pursuing you? What are they doing? And they essentially pin the boat to the side, and you can see several orcs jump from their boat vessels onto the side of the mountain and the boat itself. There were no material belongings or anything like that was left in the boat. It's just a bare boat with a with the oars. And you can see after maybe 5-10 minutes or so. Actually, let me ask you this before I continue. Do you stick around to see what they do, or do you want to just continue going? You kind of look, you see that they've pinned the boat, you see that they've jumped onto it in the side of the mountain. What do you want to do at that point?
I would like to... Is there a different route that we could have taken from the boat? From where we can see?
Okay, so basically the way that I'm picturing it is you've gone off the boat and you're now heading back around the mountain towards the entrance, essentially, the main entryway. If you went left, you would be heading towards, so you're going right, essentially. If you head left, you would be going towards the vessels that were coming at you guys.
I meant after exiting the boat, because I had the idea to maybe make a sound that was in a different direction to distract them and make them think that we went off that way when we actually went up the mountain.
I mean, there is essentially, you have your 3 cardinal directions. You guys could have gone straight up, where you would have still been seen. You guys could have gone left, where you probably still would have been seen. Or you guys could have gone right, which is the direction you went, to try to get yourself out of sight and around the mountain. So you could have gone left, you could have gone up. But both of those directions at the time were within full view, we'll say, of the orcs. You can still try to make a sound, though. That's fine.
Wait, I can distract the orcs?
You can try.
Hmm.
You can try to do anything. But I will let you
But-
know again that with your mimicry, there is a chance that they detect that it's fake.
Also, I mean, they would have seen us run to the left. They would have seen us run up. So even if we distract them for a bit, they're still going to know that we went to the right. However, as far as I know, they've not seen us yet. And orcs aren't. What's the intelligence like of an orc? I feel like they're fairly stupid, but that could
That's
just
a
be my personal
stereotype.
bias.
Yeah, that's a stereotype. Orcs are actually great conversationalists.
Yeah.
I think we should probably
Okay.
just book it then.
Again, I will reassess my personal biases. I'm just saying, perhaps if we don't try to distract them, it could be possible they might assume, because we were not rowing very fast, that the boat just crashed up there on its own and not come looking for us.
And we fell in the lava and instantly died.
Could be.
Personally, I'm all for simply running in the opposite direction of danger right now and putting as much distance between me and these orcs as possible.
I'm kind of leaning towards that.
Okay, we book it then.
Okay. All right, so you guys see the orcs jump off. Essentially, the choice I'm looking for, and it sounds like I've got it, but I want to make sure, is you can stay and see what they do, or you can just, fuck it, we're going to get out of here.
Yeah, we don't give a shit about the boat.
We're gonna book
Yeah.
it.
Okay, booking it is. You guys see them jump out, and you go, fuck this, I'm leaving. And you continue heading around the side of the mountain here. What is the speed at which you guys are trying to... Are you like, our life is in imminent danger. I am literally sprinting on the side of this mountain to try to get away. Are you taking your time? What's the speed of which we want to go here?
I would think the balance between stealth and speed. Where we're trying to go as
Agreed.
fast as we can without, like, clamoring and throwing rocks all about.
Okay. So you're
trying to not twist an ankle, like a trot. It's like a bit of a scrambling trot.
So in easy to simple, understandable terms for D&D, you do not want to take disadvantage on your roll in order to get away faster.
No.
You want to just have a regular... Okay, just checking. Hey, I'm just laying all the options before you.
Appreciate that.
Want to see if any of you guys want to fall in the lava today. Guess not. Okay. Go ahead and let's take another acrobatics check here as you guys make your way over the side, or not over the side, but continuing on the pathway back to the beginning of the citadel.
A 7.
A 7.
18.
Okay. 18.
25. A +7 acrobatics really helps out.
Yeah,
Okay, Mendax, we're trying to be stealthy. Stop doing backflips while we're running away, please.
Yes, so Mendax, you're actually very comfortable in this kind of environment. Though you've not I run around volcanic wastelands. This is very similar to a lot of your antics that you get up to as you're back in the cities, stealing and domestic foraging, things of such. So you're having no problem. You're gliding over the rocks. You're able to continue on this mountain with essentially no issue. Nigel, you've started to kind of figure out the best way. You've put your sort of logical brain at work, and you begin to determine, okay, this is how we need to be able to navigate this area. Call, you are having it's not a difficult time necessarily, but a couple of misplaced kind of hands. You put your foot in the wrong spot. It's more luck than anything else. You can't be sure unless you kind of go for it. Your progress is slowed a bit, and there are rocks kind of falling down the side of the mountain.
Sorry about that. You can't always guess
No
right
problem.
when you're grabbing for a handhold.
It is not always the most certain thing to do. So you've slowed some, Call. You are a good distance behind the group. Are you wanting to speed up and take a disadvantage to your acrobatics, or are you wanting to stay the course?
Well, I have a handy dandy Scythe of the Crow, you know.
You do.
If
Absolutely.
it came to. Am I that far behind?
You are probably about 30 feet behind the group.
Did I ever discern the cooldown or whatever on this thing?
You tried to do it twice. You did kind of like you did the teleport. You tried to do the teleport again. You saw that it failed, but the next day you were able to do the teleport. So you've discerned that it's most likely once per day.
I think I will
So
risk the disadvantage to catch up with them.
Okay, go ahead and give me an acrobatics check to catch up at disadvantage. So 2d20, take the lowest one.
First one is a 22.
Okay, let's see how your second one is.
Second one would be a 21.
All right, so we take the 21 there. You sacrifice a bit of stability for speed, but you are able, whether it's by luck or you're just kind of intuitively now figuring it out, you're able to continue your way. And you close the distance between you and the other two very quickly. Give me one more acrobatics, guys, as a group. Let's see if we can all continue forward together.
18.
17.
I got a nat 20, but then plus 7.
Yeah,
27.
absolutely. So 18, 17, and a 27. Yeah, Mendax, you're like scouting forward, coming back, letting people know like, oh yeah, this is kind of the best way to go right over here. And then going forward again and then coming back. This is super easy for you.
She's doing back handsprings.
Yeah. Nigel, you're in the back of the group. You're not like far behind by any means, but you're the one that's kind of bringing up the rear.
I'm channeling my inner Steven right now. I'm very proud of these acrobatics rolls. Thank you very
should
much.
be. These are great ones, honestly. I'm surprised you haven't fell to your death already. This is surprising. Give me a perception check, Nigel.
I rolled a 4 plus 2, 6.
Okay. As you are kind of climbing and scaling the mountain, making your way across, you look back and you see a humanoid figure kind of cresting the side of the mountain where you guys were coming from. Maybe about 80 feet away.
Oh, Jesus. They're not far behind us. They're on our tail. These Urakai motherfuckers. They must have our scent.
What's the play? So you alert the others that they are still pursuing you guys. As you can tell right now, from what you can see, you haven't been spotted. But there's not a whole lot of great places to hide. What would you guys like to do?
I believe we're running to the tower itself, no?
You're making it. You'll eventually get there. But it was going to take you 20 minutes by rowing a boat. So it's going to take you a bit of time from the mountain.
Are we close enough that we could dash to each other, huddle together, and have Nigel cast an illusion of go full Samwise Gamgee, basically Elven cloak us with his illusion?
You can try to do whatever you want.
If we can duck around a corner, and then if you can find some sort of hole or crevice for us to cover most of ourselves in, yes, it could work.
Okay, Mendax, are you going to go forward and try to find a spot for you guys to hide?
I am. Absolutely.
All right, give me an acrobatics followed by a perception as you are frantically...
Acrobatics is 24.
All right, no problems with moving around.
Perception is 11 plus 1 is a 12.
Okay. You scout maybe another 20 feet up from where you are right now. Like 20 feet distance horizontally. You're looking around, you're searching for any kind of depression in the mountain that you guys could try to hole up in and allow for Nigel to cast his illusion magic. You see about 15 feet up the mountain, so 20 feet across, 15 feet up, there is what looks to be kind of an outcropping of rocks there that you guys might be able to all kind of fit into, and then have Nigel cast his illusion.
All right, guys, up there, and I'd like to point.
Okay. You guys see the exact spot she's talking about. From where you are, actually, it's a little difficult, but you trust that what she says is correct. It's obscured by some rocks that are jutting out, which is even more the reason to try to make a break for it. Mendax, you're far enough ahead.
Can I access my mind fortress very quickly? I just want to check, do I know if orcs have a keen sense of smell?
You can certainly try to recall that information. Let me see what that would be under here.
I just want to make sure they're not some wolf type tracking fiends that are going to immediately know where we've gone.
We should have bathed before we left on this adventure.
What would be the best?
Why didn't we all take the mints?
Exactly. If you haven't popped the mints yet, now would be a really great time to do it.
But now, what if they smell the mint? It'll be too strong.
No, that's true. Maybe don't do it.
Doesn't lava have a pretty strong smell that would be very overbearing?
Yeah, they'd be used to it though, right? Whereas smell detects differences. It's more like you adapt maybe. So maybe you can cut through. Would there be like a rotten egg sort of smell, or
like sulfur?
I'm trying to think of what would be the best for this. It wouldn't be really nature. I don't feel like it would be history either. We could just try to go for a straight up intelligence roll. You don't have necessarily anything in particular that would give you any advantage, except for your just pure knowledge. So go ahead. Yeah, we'll just, for lack of a better skill to use, we'll just go with a straight. You can roll a d20, add your intelligence modifier, and see how much information you're able to recall about orcs.
It's 7 + 5, 12.
Sure, 12. We will say with a 12, because this is fairly specific information that you're trying to recall. This isn't like orcs are green and they're strong. This is like how good can they smell things? Like that's not in a lot of books. You are not able to conjure up to your mind if they're good at smelling things, or if they suck at it, or if they're just like regular. Let's say you don't recall anything that says they're very good at it, but you also don't recall anything that says they're bad at it.
No worries. Well, at this point, already feeling tired and wanting to go into my natural state of curling up in a ball in a hole in the ground and hoping that danger passes by, I'm just going to follow Mendax up.
All right, sounds good. From Mendax, I don't need anything, but from Call and Nigel, can you guys give me stealth checks and one final acrobatics check?
That's a 19 for my stealth.
Nice.
20 for my stealth.
Damn.
4 for my acrobatics.
14 for acrobatics.
Okay, Call, you are certainly able to make your way over to this sort of outcropping, and you do so without disturbing any of the rocks, without making yourself known. You keep low to the ground, and you are able to get up to this outcropping where Mendax is located now. Nigel, you do not disturb any of the rocks of the mountain around you, but you are halted. You sense that one of the places you were going to grab to try to get a hold on was going to fall and make a lot of noise and make a lot of debris. You stop yourself from grabbing there, and you have to reassess your position. The orcs, well, let's see. Actually, you don't even need to do a perception at this point. You look back, Nigel, and you see that roughly 40 feet away are 3 orcs trying to search around for whoever left that boat behind. You rolled a 19 for your stealth, correct?
Let me double check it. I believe it was 19.
I believe it was a 19.
Yeah.
Or a 20. It was one of
it
the two.
was,
It was very high.
it was a 19.
Okay. All right. Oof. That is unfortunate. You hear, which again, mainly at this point, it's been silent, besides the clamoring of rocks and the again, the very now faint as you guys have made your way around. You're not in that echo chamber anymore, but you still hear off in the distance that pounding of the war drums in unison. Now here, however, 2 very savage and loud orcish grunts from behind you as you get the very acute sense that you have been spotted.
Shit!
That's a good reaction.
Hey, Mendax, I think it's go time.
We need the high ground, for sure.
We have the high ground. We have guests.
You
Disregarding
underestimate
stealth.
my power.
Disregarding stealth, can I scurry up? I really want to try
Absolutely.
and get behind my stronger brethren.
Absolutely. I will give you this last action before we move into sort of combat roles here. Keeping in mind, Call and Mendax, your position has not been given away. They are unaware that you are there. Currently, Nigel, you assess that only you have been spotted. So what do you want to do with that? Do you want to try to get up to where they are?
I'd like to go past them, if possible, without necessarily going straight to them, and just kind of, I'm gonna get maybe 10 yards past, 10 feet, 15 feet past them, and then I'm gonna turn and start shooting fire at them.
Sure. If you try to talk to him,
can you do the cantrip to keep us hidden in case they gain on you? We would at least have a sneak attack potentially.
Do you want to risk talking to him, or do you want to just ignore that you said that?
Oh fuck! We should have made hand signals.
Shh, Mendax. They're hiding. Be quiet.
So Nigel is still probably around 15 feet away from you guys. Whispering is certainly not going to work. If you want, I mean, you can talk to him. I'm not trying to say you're not allowed to say anything. But if you do, you certainly get
no.
If
they haven't seen us yet, I'm not going to talk.
Okay, sure. All right, Nigel, you are saying to hell with stealth. You don't need it anymore. You're a powerful wizard. Go ahead and give me an acrobatics. Let's see how far you can get. You want to get about 10 feet past them. So you want to move almost a full amount of your movement, just a little bit under. But this is kind of terrible terrain to try to navigate.
Say 12.
It's a 12. Okay. We'll say you are able to make it as far. You're now in line with them. You're not able to get 10 feet past them to kind of lure them in, is what I'm assuming you're trying to do. Awesome idea. But you're in line with them now. So you've made it as far as them. Call Mendax. You see Nigel, who is ripping rocks off of the side of the mountain in order to try to get as far past as you can. So if you didn't know it already, you now assume, oh, okay, Nigel is in trouble. With that, go ahead, Nigel only, give me an initiative roll. Call and Mendax, you guys are, again, you're still undetected. You can jump in almost at any time when an action, like between anyone's turn, essentially. So you can't like interrupt an attack, but I'll let you go at whatever place you want up until the point that you're detected.
So 12 for my initiative.
Okay, sounds great. And all right. So one of the orcs that is past or again, they are roughly now about 30 feet away from you, Nigel, is gonna stop. He's gonna try to like just kneel on the rocks. You can now get a much clearer sense and picture as to both the size and the like kind of general attributes, if you will, of these three pursuers. They are, I would say, very large, standing around probably around 6'4", 6'5", in the 6-foot range. Muscular orcs that are clad in essentially like a blackened leather. Some of them have metal scraps that are sort of adorned in random spots. It seems like as they find metal that looks strong, they'll patch it onto their armor. It's not really a full suit of armor. It doesn't look like this was tailor-made for them. They smashed this stuff on there. The two in the front are wielding sort of these really rusty, just war blades, these two-handed kind of great swords. And you see that their arms are actually adorned with what looks like almost like a metal sleeve. Give me a perception, though.
Ooh. That's a 9.
Okay. You can't quite clearly make it out, but you do see it doesn't look like the metal is like clothes. It doesn't look like it's something they're wearing. Strangely enough.
Hot diddly damn.
It doesn't quite move in the same way that like scale mail or plate mail would move. But regardless, those two orcs with the giant swords are again rusted, blackened, beaten up, not well kept for. Doesn't even necessarily look like they're sharp. They might just be heavy metal objects that they try to smash into people. They are trying to move forward. One of them, though, stops in the back and pulls out this kind of gnarled-looking short bow and shoots an arrow at you. What is your armor class, Nigel?
God damn it. 12.
Okay. Let's see what we've got here.
Perfect time for a strategic slip and fall.
Dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge.
All right.
Happy to get the maximum roll on my HP on my last level up.
It's wise. He lets loose the arrow, which goes kind of wide of your position. So it looks like his aim was pretty far off. He tried to do this in one quick motion where he just stops abruptly, pulls out this arrow, and lets it go. You can see it clatters on the stone rocks below and breaks into pieces. You see that the arrow heads in like the kind of quick moment that you look over to try to track where this arrow went to. Again, it's very crudely made. It doesn't look like it's made for, this is not precision, like elven crafted. They plucked feathers out of a chicken, slapped it on the end, and they took a pointy, rusty kind of piece of metal that they had lying around, and they just bound that to the other end.
Rough arrows of the chicken bow.
Indeed. Nigel, your turn.
All right. It's been a while since I've been here again. Feels good to get this bad boy out of the library. Time to burn the dust off it, I think.
Sweet God. Okay. You have it.
Can you guess what I'm going to do?
Is it safe for work?
Tell me, my friend. I'm praying at this point. That's all I can really do.
Well, I'm going to cast Engorge Wanton. No, we're going to cast a firebolt.
Hit them with the tried and tested, the classic, the firebolt. All right, who are you trying to hit?
I'm just going to... Yeah, I'll target one of the two that's charging. So the closest
Sounds good.
one. Yeah.
Awesome. Go ahead and give me... What do you need for that? Is it a reflex that I do, or do you have to hit? How does that work for your firebolt?
Firebolt.
It's been so long.
It's been a while. Hit DC +5. What is this?
Make a ranged spell attack. Yeah, so okay, so you just roll a d20, you add 5. And then I'll compare that to their defense, and we will see if you're able to
18.
To strike true. 18. I dare say 18 is going to be enough to inflict some damage. Go ahead and give me that damage roll.
9.
Ooh. And you said you were going after one of the two in the front that are kind of more melee looking like focus. Okay.
Yep. Melee orc 1 targeted.
Amazing. Okay. You, whether it's fear or whether it's adrenaline, you are able to strike true as a firebolt launches out of the end of the wand. And starts, again, kind of small and minuscule, but as it moves through the air, picks up kind of exponentially in speed and hits the first orc square in the face, singeing and kind of
face.
Yeah, singeing the skin, crisping up whatever hair he had, and doing a good bit of damage as you hit with a 9. 9 is actually a really solid hit. Awesome. He still stands, but you can tell that you have severely pissed this guy off.
As it should be.
It is going to be the 2 orcs' turns. So call Mendax. Are you wanting to go before? Do you want to go after? After these 2 guys go,
I want to go
before.
before.
Back to the range.
I'm not a stealth character. I can hear the fire and the bows twanging about.
All right, sounds good. Call
like
Mendax.
to leap out.
You guys are all right. You guys can go. Go for it. What are you gonna do?
Considering the fact that I just now remembered that I never replaced my rapier that somebody dropped in the lava, I'm going to pull out my bow, and I've not been seen yet. So I think I can do a sneak attack.
You 100% can do it. It's 110%. This is the exact moment that sneak attack was made for.
Then that is what I would like to do. And I would like to target... the orc that is ranged.
Okay. The orc that stopped a bit back and is trying to shoot the crude bow.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
He's the only one that I think can hit Nigel right away. He gets the next turn, so I'd like to direct his focus onto me if I can.
Absolutely. Go ahead and give me your ranged attack roll. So that should be D20 plus 5.
D20. Ooh, 15 plus 5, so that's a 20.
Okay. Not a natural, so it's not a critical strike, but you are certainly able to hit this guy. Your accuracy is dead on. Give me a damage roll plus sneak attack damage. That's going to be 3d6 plus 3. God damn. Rogues do so much damage in this game.
Plus 3 is 8. Plus 1 is 9. So 9 plus 6 is 15.
15. Absolutely. You kind of take a moment, you square up, you get your aim dead on. You let loose an arrow. Unlike the one that the ranged orc shot, it strikes dead in the face. You show this orc in his last moments as an arrow passes through his eye. Exactly what it's like to hit a target with the accuracy of a rogue. The arrow passes cleanly through the back of his head, and you see the corpse of the orc kind of just roll down the mountain. The 2 orcs in the front, not even aware that their friend is dead.
Holy crap, Mendax. When did you replace that short bow with a goddamned ballista? Jesus.
I mean, give me a little bit of beer, and I'll fucking shoot anything.
Holy crap. Remind me not to piss you off.
Sometimes, Nigel.
So very, very well done. Your first attack back in combat, and it is An excellent one. All right, Call. You are up, my friend. What's the play? You've not been detected. What would you like to do? The orcs currently stand about 30 feet away.
I would like to take a brief, deep breath inward, channeling my Kenku strength, and seeing the nice yellow ascot I have tied on my arm from Brund.
Yes.
And looking down at this shiny new weapon I have that I have never once striked a foe with. Until now. So I would like
the
to...
deadly side, anyways.
No, just a bonk on the head. I would like to
Bonk on the head.
Leap out in glorious fashion and charge whoever is standing, and then go for a strike.
Okay. Give me an acrobatics check as you are trying to close the distance here. We'll see if your footing is true on your way back.
Gonna be a 21.
Absolutely. You are able to close the distance, remembering the steps you took to get up to this position. You leap out from behind the rock that you are hiding, and you go for a strike. Would you like to hit the orc that has a disfigured, melted face, or would you like to hit the orc who has a slightly less disfigured face?
The slightly less disfigured?
I'm just trying to make a joke that orcs are pretty ugly. These ones are, anyways.
Oh yes, I would
They
like to
all
hit
have
an
cauliflower
orc.
ears.
Oh my goodness. I feel like other orcs probably find them attractive. I feel like that's subjective.
Very true. You get up close and personal with melee orc number 2. And you at this range are able to, before we get to your attack here, you get a better picture. You've now gotten a complete idea of exactly what Nigel was looking at earlier. You see that, yes, they're wearing the same similar type of, again, blackened leather armor with pieces of metal. You can tell, even in the few moments before you attack, that all of these different metal pieces have come from just totally random places. Some of them probably not really all that much defensive potential, as they're like small sheets of tin, you know? Some of them are just giant hunks of rock that looks like they've been sort of glued on or strapped on. But you do see something interesting. You see that their face and their arms, they've actually bolted metal into their skin. So it's not something that they can take off, but they have these metal bolts that are protruding out, and they're rusted. And there's kind of, just all manner of, who knows if that's blood, if that's something, who knows, that are crusted on their arms and their legs. And you see that some of their teeth even have been replaced by just sharpened, rusted nails. These are not very pleasant orcs. These are not really, we'll say, civilized in any fashion.
They believe in recycling. There's that.
They do. Oh yeah, and they'll recycle everything and anything that they can get. These are some scrappy orcs. But Call, you have taken orc number 2 by surprise. Let's see if you can follow through with the attack. Give me a hit roll, please.
Very good. Oh, rolled it onto a thing. Didn't land.
Okay.
That's going to be...
Who the hell is that thick?
I rolled a
bird?
2 and then it's +5, so a 7.
Okay. You bring the scythe down with kind of a giddiness, as this is your first true combat. Yeah. This is what Call was born to do. This is the life you were meant to live. As you bring down what seems to be a true strike, the orc puts its arms up, and the metal that is bolted in the side of its forearm kind of clashes with the onyx blade of your scythe. Sparks fly, and chips of metal fragments kind of peel off of this orc's arm. But overall, it does not strike any skin. Your blow is deflected. And now it's their turn. Call, what is your armor class?
7 fucking teen, dude.
7 fucking teen. All right.
Dude.
I see you, dude. I see you, dude. Okay. Let's see what it is that they are going to attempt to do here. All right. The orc that you tried to hit is going to punch you in the face. Or he's going to try to. And you can see that on his arm and his knuckles, there are just these sort of metal spikes that are kind of bolted and sort of placed almost into his skin. 17. Stupid orcs. As he goes for sort of the deflect and the punch in, you are able to dodge your head to the side, narrowly avoiding the 3 sharpened, rusty spikes that are, again, protruding from his forearm. As you do that, the other orc is going to try to come through and get a swing at you with his rusted greatsword. Useless. His swing goes not wide, but in order to avoid hitting his friend or the other orc that's there, he has to stop his attack and kind of curve the blade down and strike the ground that's sort of just to the left of you. Call as their attack was not very well synchronized, and they sort of were disjointed. They didn't really work together very well. So you avoid taking any damage.
7 fucking teen. Whoa.
Yeah. All right, Nigel. You see that the orc with the short bow has been utterly decimated and is currently in the process of rolling down the hill, about to join the rest of the lava. And there are 2 orcs that are attacking your buddy. What would you like to do?
I would like to try to light the torso on fire of the one whose face has already been burnt. So I'm going to try and get an angle on him and just launch another flame bolt from the side.
All right, firebolt worked so well for the first time. Let's see if it comes into play the second time. Give me your ranged attack roll. Let me know what you get.
14.
A 14. What did you roll last time?
The previous one was...
I think you got something like an 18 or a 19.
Yeah, before it was like an 18, yeah.
Okay. A 14. So you're going for the one that got it. Who tried to attack with the greatsword, and his attack went down because that's the guy who has the kind of melted face. Yeah. This time he has decided to keep an eye on you. They're very untrusting of magic types. And so he's kept a cursory glance on you this whole time, and he sees a similar situation to the one that he was in before, and decides to, as the bolt is sort of careening at him again, he it's gonna kind of it's on track to hit him in the face one more time, as your aim is impeccable. He jumps up though, kind of hops. He doesn't roll to the side. He doesn't hop to the left. He jumps up slightly, and it hits the metal that's on his chest. It doesn't singe any skin, but it does melt some of the armor that's there. It looks like overall, if you did any damage, it was no more than just an annoyance to him, though.
Did he just bro thump my goddamn flame bolt?
He bro thumped the flame bolt.
Did the goddamn chest thump high five?
Yep.
Goddamn, that's embarrassing.
He styled on you, my dude.
I was hoping he'd jump a little bit higher and you'd go full fire crotch on him.
Not quite. Not quite.
Unless he's wearing a magical box with a ward save or something.
No, I guess there's only one way to find out, truly. Mendax, it is over to you, my friend. Your first attack did so well. You are now seen, you're now spotted, but I believe that your sneak attack, the way that it works, and I'm going to just confirm this, so long as there is a unfriendly creature within 5 feet of who you're attacking, you still get sneak attack. So Paul is still within range is within that 5 feet. So essentially what I'm saying is you will get sneak attack on both of them as they're still distracted.
Okay. I would like to take a sneak attack on the one that's already damaged. The extra ugly one.
Okay, so the guy who just chest bumped the fireball.
Yeah, that's fucked up. No bro thumping of my friend Nigel's fiery balls.
All right. Let's see if you've got the finesse to end this orc's life.
Okay, so it's a d20 plus 5.
Yes.
I rolled a 16, so that's a 21.
Okay, you are certainly able to hit. What is your damage roll? 3d6 plus 3.
3d6 plus 3. 1 plus 1. God damn it, give me something good. Plus 6. Okay, so 6, 7, 8 plus 3, the 11.
Okay. As the orc kind of jumps into the air and catches a fireball to the chest, you see his face, he's a bit smug. He thought that was really, really fucking smart. I have this metal armor on my chest, and the fire is not very good. But it did melt enough of the armor. Mendax, as he's sort of beginning to land, you see some exposed flesh from where the metal melted away. And you shoot an arrow, and your strike is true as it passes through the sternum, the chest here of that orc, dealing enough damage to take him out of commission as he crumples to the ground. A smile on his face as he thought he was really, really smart. Melee orc number 1. Down for the count.
Stupid bitch.
Okay. Sure. Why not? All right. Well done, Mendax. Call. Over to you, my friend. Your blow was deflected, but you are able to dodge the return hit. How are you going to follow up scythe in hand?
I would like to continue my practice of landing my first hit by using my weapon.
Okay. Go for it. Give me the roll.
That was only 8.
Total. Call is not in his groove.
I'm still getting the hang of this.
You do not feel the rhythm of battle. This weapon is foreign. You're not used to how combat works with. It's somewhat of an unwieldy. I mean, you're fighting with a scythe. You know, like that's not your standard typical weaponry, right? It's not a dagger. It's not a sword. There's a bit more finesse than you're used to that is involved in fighting with such a type. As you try to bring the blade down and back up, it's kind of uppercut, if you will. Kind of have this flash of inspiration. Oh, that'd be really cool. We can try to do that. The orc is able to dodge to the left and sort of slide down the hill slightly. As he does so, he uses one of his reflexes, his sort of reflex bonus action, if you will, and he picks up some of the debris from the ground and he flings it up at your face. Give me a reflex save.
What is a reflex? Dex save?
Yeah, it should. Dex save. Sorry, I'm used to some different.
22.
22. All right. Well, you are able to keenly dodge away from the debris and the dirt, and cover your face in time before it's able to get in your eyes. As his dirty fighting tactics don't pan out for him this time. It is his turn. He is going to take the greatsword that's on his back and try to, in one smooth motion, kind of bring it down. Although you do have the high ground, Neuro, so it will be a little bit more difficult for him to do so. Let me go ahead. 17. It's like cheating, man.
Technically, it's 7 fucking teen.
Technically, yes.
All right, 7 fucking teen.
Ooh.
As he slides down the side of the mountain, he tries to use that momentum and bring out the greatsword very quickly. As he does so, though, he loses his footing, and his greatsword kind of hits into the mountain and does not strike you, Call. But it is a very powerful hit. It creates quite a depression in the side here as it cracks and breaks through the rock and stone, hitting into the core kind of more of the mountain itself.
That poor mountain.
It's taken quite a beating today.
Mm-hmm.
But you go another turn unscathed, much to my dismay. Nigel, it's your turn.
You sound like you're out
Correct
to
me if
get me.
I'm wrong, but Carl, I believe your weapon, it might need to be used differently to the halberd you were using before. And I hear that maybe you should imagine that you are simply, harvesting wheat. And remember, it's all in the hips, and just sow the wheat and just work it through. You've got this, Carl. I believe in you.
You tap into your farming experiences back in Lakewood as a helping hand.
I mean, I chewed up just about every bit of material I could read about the world growing up, and I did read the manifesto of Chabinius Peterson, and he always said it was all in the hips. So I do believe that is the secret to effective wheat sowing and harvesting, and I believe it should be the same for your weapon.
Are you sure it was wheat he was sowing? Are you sure it wasn't wild oats?
Well, perhaps I believe it was seasonal, depending on what the markets were favoring at the time.
I just got backseat barbarian.
You got backseat barbarian. You got backseat barbarian by Twitch chat GM, my friend. So.
Oh boy.
And of course, gloriously not wanting to use up any of my more powerful magical reservoirs, I'm going to shoot a flame bolt. And yeah,
Firebolt number 3. I mean, hey man, the first 2 have done very well.
And the third not so well. That's a 9.
All right. As you were sort of wizard-splaining the barbarian on how to do some damage, you lose focus. Your accuracy is a bit off. And the firebolt that you so skillfully produce careens just off into the sky somewhere, completely missing. Actually, you're not even very close to hitting.
I just wanted to make you feel better, Carl. We're in this together.
So what you want to do is you want to point the firebolt at the orc directly so that it makes purchase.
I'll try that next
Dork
time.
is mad. You're mocking his combat. This is a glorious battle, and you're making jokes. Mendex. Maybe the only sensible one here of the group today, which I can't believe I'm saying that. What would you like to do?
I mean, it's my turn, so I think I get another sneak attack, right? Because Carl is still within 5 feet.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're going to go with another bow and arrow sneak attack.
Bow, arrow, attacking, bonus damage. What's the roll?
14 plus 5, 19.
Index is on point.
Boys.
As another arrow.
Don't worry. I got this.
Streaks through the air. How much damage are we doing?
A 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
God damn, sneak attack is so good. All right. You are able to... It's a bit of an interesting shot. But at this point, it's almost more like sport. Call is a little bit in the way, and so you're kind of trying to aim between, the openings as Call is moving around, ducking and diving, and you're able to catch the rhythm correctly. And as Call lifts up his hands to go for another strike, they're able to shoot an arrow through the opening that's kind of made in his arm. As an arrow streaks through the air and just sort of plants itself underneath the neck kind of area here into his chest. And the orc staggers back, but does not fall. He stands, although you have done quite a bit of damage. He's looking worse for wear. Call, are you able to seal the deal?
One way to find out. Let's see what we got. Natural 1.
Fucking fantastic. Natural 1. That's impressive.
He's gonna fall into the lava.
I've got this mental image of when someone's first getting driving lessons from their parent, but the parent can't let go of the control and is like, no, fast, no, hit the brake, turn. And there's that moment where you get so inside your own head, no. But in this case, it's with a giant scythe trying to decapitate an orc.
All right, Call.
How's it going?
It's going good, man.
Is it? That's good.
Yeah. Give me a D4 and tell me if it's even or if it's odd.
It's odd.
All right. You go for the combo. The arrow streaking past your face, planting it to the orc. The opening is there. His arms are sprawled wide. This is your moment. This is the time that Call of the Kenku people, the Birdbarian, the self-proclaimed thickest, the biggest, gets his attack in. As you bring down the scythe, a little bit of dust and debris from that previous kind of throw up, from that dirty trick that the orc tried to pull into the air, kind of gets in your eye, and you inhale some of it as you're trying to go in for a powerful attack. So you're mustering up all the oxygen that you can, and you let out a very weak cough, which takes you by surprise. Throws off your balance, throws off your rhythm, and it throws off your footing as you sort of find yourself now on the ground. Is you sort of lose your footing on the stone, being disrupted by that pesky dust. You clamber to the ground. You drop your scythe. It's next to you. It's not like falling into the lava or anything, so don't worry. But you do hear from your bag a crunch.
Was that my butt?
Something in your bag. All right, it is the orc's turn.
Uh-oh.
His brief glimpse of death that was certainly in front of him, and still probably is in front of him. He's been given a second chance to live, and he's going to use it trying to kill whoever he can. He is going to attack you, Call. You are prone, and which means that your AC is not as good. Let's see. If he's able to hit you, though, there's still a chance to miss. And if my orcs can do it, they'll do it. Not this time. He musters up the last essence of his life, and he brings the greatsword down as you're laying there on the ground trying to scramble back up. And he deals... Oh, it was a good last one. 15 damage. As he cleaves into your side, crunching bone and breaking the skin, feathers kind of flying around. You're not dead. You still have a lot more life. But it hurt.
Ouch.
Adding insult to injury. Nigel, your go.
I might be allowed to hurt his feelings, but that's my friend. Get the hell away from him, you dirty orc. Flame bolt.
Flame bolt. Yeah. All right. Not even busting out the level ones. Flame bolt. Yeah. All right. Love it. Let me see. What do you got, my friend? What do you got?
It's still an enthusiastic, not spending any resources on this fight. 14.
I am a big fan. 14. You got a 4?
Yep, 14, yep.
14, not gonna be enough.
Oh, God.
To end the life of this orc who has some favor with some orcish god out there who's looked down upon the tenacity, the savagery of this disciple and spared their life. Your firebolt goes wide, a little bit too hot to trot, if you will. As you're too enthusiastic, you're too worked up from seeing your friend injured, and your aim is not true. Mendax, your turn.
Listen, you fucking bastard. If you take one more step towards this my goddamn bird-burying friend, I will end you. Okay, that's a lie. I'm going to end you anyway. It's time to die.
Do you have the roll to back up the words?
It's 12 plus 5. 17.
17. Go ahead and give me a damage roll.
Yes, and it's a sneak attack because he's still there. 3
Sneak attack.
plus 4 is 7. Plus 1 is 8. 11 again.
11 again. Your arrow finds no difficulty in hitting the exact same spot that the first arrow hit into the first
I
time.
Robin Hooded the shit out of that motherfucker! Eat it!
Oh!
It is able to strike down the orc as he falls to the ground, his greatsword left in the side of Neuro.
Look who didn't faint.
But he is...
Look who didn't faint. I didn't faint yet. I didn't faint.
Well done. Your first trip back into combat land, and you're all alive.
I don't feel great.
You're a little
myself.
worse for wear. Yeah, you're... you had a rough reintroduction. But you came through. You're alive, my friend. The tank survived. The bodies of the orcs are rolling down the side of the mountain. They're kind of just picking up momentum. The short bow wielding orc has already dropped into the lava. If it's something you care about so desperately as to try to run down the side and stop the bodies from moving in, you can do so. But again, the environment you're in is pretty dangerous, so be careful.
The only thing I'd want back would be my arrows, and I'm not willing to dive down the mountain to get them.
Okay.
I heard a crunch. I think I broke my butt. I would like to go check my pack and see what happened.
Nigel, I think this seems like a bro task. I think you need to check his butt.
No. I'm not too talented with medicine. Maybe Goop could take a look.
No, but you have such good perception and intelligence. I'm sure you've read about broken butts before.
Oh. I mean, I have read a few treatises on rare medical injuries and read some studies and things, but I wouldn't call myself an expert.
There's something seeping through the bag now, I think.
Something is indeed. You see and smell sort of the unmistakable potion that you purchased from the shopkeep at the wizard's closet dripping out of one of the corners of your bag.
Ugh.
As it
Lick it up, Cole!
Can I hold the bag
crushed.
over my head like this?
Lick it up!
You can?
Wait. What was that potion? What was it meant to do again?
Speed.
Speed potion.
Drink it up. Don't get any glass in your mouth.
Well, that's what the bag
Definitely
is for.
some good advice. The bag is sort of filtering. It's not like streaming out, and if you remember, it was a very small vial to begin with. It was a fairly small amount. You're able to get a few drops, as it's basically been mixed with the dirt and grime of. I mean, you don't have like a filthy, backpack or anything like that, but it's, there are other components and things in there that you keep. You're able to get a couple of drops. You feel this rush of adrenaline as the world around you slows down. You see Mendax and Nigel rather speaking. Their mouths are moving very, very slowly, and the words are coming out incredibly like slowly, as if someone has slowed down time.
What are you guys doing? We should be going.
But
we've been here for hours.
That feeling only lasts for a few seconds, and you are quickly brought back to the normal timed world.
That was awesome. Except that it's broken. And I can't have the rest of it.
What was awesome?
The potion. That was the potion of speed that we got from the wizard's closet. That was broken when I fell on my ass. And I'm excited because that was a cool idea for a potion, but I am now sad that I cannot use it.
There are consequences to rolling a 1. And you've had some rough ones, I won't lie. But you're still alive. Injured, but alive.
Yeah,
The even would have been your potion of healing. The odd, your potion of speed.
I have
So,
2
you
potions
still
of
have
healing.
Okay, it would have been one of them.
No.
Okay. Combat's over. You look off into the distance. You don't see any more orcish pursuers, but you do distinctly remember seeing certainly more than 3 that jumped off of that boat.
Let's get a move on, I think. Is the archer one, its body still sitting nearby? It was only the other 2 that fell down, or?
Nah, they all fell down. It's kind of it's not like a steep sheer drop by any means, but certainly if you were to just kind of stop actively trying to balance on the mountain, you would certainly start to fall down. So since there was no consciousness to keep them upright, they just started tumbling down. The short bow guy is in the lava, and the time it's taken Call to look through his bag and have that brief moment of enhanced senses and speed, the other 2 have also kind of, they're like right at the edge. One of them kind of hasn't all the way gone in. It's like halfway in the lava, halfway still on the land.
All right, let's work our way to the fortress as quickly as we can, I guess. I mean, there's still 3 boats down there. Hopefully the orcs left some boats in their fortress, because we've got to get in there, find this key, and then find a way out. We also, I don't know, I'm hoping it's only the old crazy orcs that they've left behind in the fortress that aren't on the raid. If we're lucky, there'll only be a couple of guards.
Maybe there'll be a couple of sexy lady orcs.
Those were the lady orcs that you were fighting.
Oh no.
Yes.
Okay, that's a bit sexist. I feel like they would have fought harder.
I mean, they did a good bit of damage. So.
They did more damage than I did.
Oh, that's true. I didn't say that. You did. Okay, so continuing on, you're gonna make it. You're gonna continue on foot to the entrance to the citadel. Is that the call here?
Yes.
That's the call. Yes.
That's the call. All right. You guys are at this point. You're not like sauntering. It's not a leisure stroll necessarily to the entrance of the citadel, but it is it's not fast enough that you guys are going to have to make any rolls there. So you're able to safely make it the rest of the way to tower. It does take you about an hour and a half to get there, as you are slow going on foot. As you guys are within maybe 100, 200 meters or so of the Citadel, it is certainly much quieter. And even when you were a mile out, you don't hear the war drums of that sort of legion of boats anymore. So you can kind of safely assume that all the boats that were going to go have gone. And as you're sort of scaling on the left side, so you're on the left side of this picture here, if we look, you see that it does connect. There is like actual stone that goes to the side of the tower. There's no kind of jump that you have to make or anything. And you also see it's a little bit different than what's pictured. So if you look at like the back left wall, the back left corner, it's actually full opened up, sort of like a gate that's been drawn open. You assume that's where the boats have been stored, is actually physically inside the keep, and that again, you don't hear anything. You can't see if there are any more boats that are making their way out, unless you would like to try to go past the Citadel and back into that kind of alleyway, kind of making a full circle, if you will. From where you are, you can see that the Citadel's walls have like swung open to the side. What would you like to do?
Probably find the quickest way inside undetected. Do we see any signs of orc activity around the Citadel?
From where you are, go ahead and give me a perception. We'll see if we have anything available.
16.
16. You do see, kind of at passing intervals, maybe every 5 minutes or so, there is a figure or two that sort of walk along the top of the walls. It's sort of more of there's a walkway, there's a passageway there. So between the pillars of flame, the sort of towers that are the corners of this entire keep, every now and again you see, again, maybe once every 5 minutes, a figure passing by.
And it's the full light of day now.
I wouldn't say it's full light, but it is that you can see the sun is coming up. It is very early morning, but very soon it is going to be very bright. Yes. Before you reach the Citadel, it will be sun in the sky.
No.
I think going in where the boats were going out would be probably the highest risk, because there'd be so much traffic that way. It looks like there's an entrance there at the front, but I don't know if that's a main entrance that would have a ton of guards. Like right in the center.
Or how he'd even get into the door if the door is shut and locked.
Yeah. How high is the wall? Can we tell that from where we are?
Yeah, the wall is probably about 100 feet up.
Holy crap. Okay. That's a mighty wall.
I have a 50-foot rope.
Yeah.
All right. Get 2 of those and find some way for it to make it over to the top, and you're in business.
Oh, there's just a Kenku getting his barbarian rage on, roaring, and then trying to swing a rope.
Yeah, exactly.
Just tie it to Nigel and chuck him over.
Eagle. Mendax, option, depending on up to you guys, it will. I have 2 of my most powerful spells available that I can use each day. I could use one on an invisibility spell. Send you to sneak your way in, one of the 2 of you, see if you can open a gate, find a good way in, get 1 hour of invisibility. But that does, when we run into any stiff resistance once we are inside, I won't be as useful if I burn too many spells out here.
Right.
You do see, I mean, again, the picture here is fairly accurate. You can't obviously see inside the citadel kind of walls quite yet, but that the opening, there is sort of this archway. That there's no gate, there's nothing standing between you and entering that part of the keep. Beyond that, I mean, we'll just say you know that there is a door there. Whether it's locked or not, that sort of remains to be seen.
Gotcha.
But as far as what you see in the picture, it's all fairly accurate.
Okay, so I don't think it would make sense to use the invisibility quite yet because I could be invisible up against a locked door. Correct? Because either way, if I'm understanding it properly, we still have to come around inside and then go in through that main entrance.
Yeah, we could shimmy around the side, go in the front door. Why not? The traffic was by the back door. We're gonna have to fight any way we go, pretty much.
I think the back door, since I think the fleet will have passed by now, it will be quieter there, I would imagine. But either way is fine. I think as there's going to be a minimal complement here. They're orcs. They're lazy. They don't have the longest attention spans. If we're lucky, we might close in without them spotting us.
Sure, we could shimmy around the side then.
Reasonable. Okay, so you're gonna go around the left side. Is that correct? Where the wall is opened, or are you trying to go for the main entryway?
I think it's where the wall is opened. Where the ship's exited was Nigel's idea.
Where the wall is opened.
Okay, sounds good. You guys take probably another 20 to 30 minutes or so. Carefully, again, maneuvering your way, getting up close to the Citadel Keep itself. You guys are now within definite visual range of the Citadel. You guys are, again, you don't stick out like sore thumbs necessary in the in sort of the blackened and gray mountainscape, but you do want to try to be careful, as you did see patrolling sort of orcs coming around the top of the walls and the rim of the Citadel itself. So go ahead, give me a stealth check. And this is to essentially try to keep your profile down, try to make as little noise as possible and not disturb any of the rocks around you.
16.
Of course, it's 23.
Channeling my Steven inspiration once again. Light-footed like a cat. 21.
Steven.
Excellent. You guys are all as stealthy as cats as you move your way around and cling to the side of the mountain, now kind of going around the bend once more. You're now kind of parallel to the Citadel Keep and the metal and blackened stone walls, or metal walls rather. You can see that it is sort of a patchwork of different burnished metals that look like they have some resiliency against the heat and the fire lava that is down below. The entire structure itself seems to be almost like it's on a floating bed of rock. Whether that rock is solidified to the ground underneath the lava, or whether it is truly floating and is clinging on the sides of the mountain, you can't tell for sure from where you're at. But the scale of the Citadel and sort of its imposing nature is starting to sort of sink in as you kind of come to terms very quickly that you are three, and there are possibly even thousands of orcs still in this keep. But you push on through the nerves, and you move forward. You're trying to get an angle. You're trying to get a look at the inside of the Citadel Keep itself from that opening, right? That the wall has swung open, presumably revealing something inside. As you move forward, you quickly duck as you see that on the wall that's swung open, there are probably around 20 to 30 orcs that are pulling a chain that are starting to slowly close the wall as the wall itself is now swinging back closed. And they're sort of pulling on it's like a pulley maneuver here, closing the wall back up. It looks like the opening of the wall here, what was inside, if you will, was just this giant sort of section of lava, from what you can tell in a brief glimpse from your position, with a dock that's in there where maybe all these boats were sort of stationed at. So you're not sure if you were going to be able to, like jump inside the citadel. There's not necessarily a platform there for you to get into immediately.
So we can't physically get in from where we are?
From where you are now, you could like slide down and try to go to that connecting point where the mountain meets the citadel itself. But as like from where you are, the wall has not swung open to hit the mountain, and is in fact now beginning to close.
So if we want to go in, we should hurry. And if we do go in, we're going to be in trouble.
Sure.
But we came
But
here
yes,
for trouble.
I would say you do need to hurry. If that is the option you want to try to go with, you would essentially have to backtrack slightly, slide down the rest of the mountain, get on the side of the wall, and then try to sprint around the wall that's closing before it closes all the way.
We came here for trouble.
Possibly doable.
I'm game. Try to sneak in the chaos of it. There'll be enough moving pieces. They might not spot us.
Why not?
We have cloaks and stuff. If we're partially covered, then who knows? We may just be servants walking about.
Absolutely. All right, so speed being of the essence here, you need to backtrack slightly on the mountain so that you can reach this sort of connection point between the wall and the mountain itself. Give me an acrobatics check to try to slide down the side of the mountain here. This will make a decent amount of noise.
5.
I got a 9.
Okay.
7.
2 plus 7.
It's all right. When you're standing next to me, you still look graceful.
All right. You rolled the highest of everyone, Mendax. You come up with this battle plan very quickly, and realize that you are gonna just barely be able to scrape by with time. That sort of panic sets in, and it focuses your energy in sort of the wrong direction. Where you should be focusing on balancing and trying to keep yourself as straight as possible as you slide down the mountain, essentially, you're instead focused and worried about time and if you're going to be able to make it or not. Each of you give me a dexterity save.
Five.
6.
Okay.
I got a 9 again.
All right. Oh, impressive. And all right. Call. Mendax. Nigel. In turn, each of you lose their footing on the side of the mountain here and begin to sort of slide down, but not in the controlled fashion that you were hoping for. You think Legolas on the shield going down the side of the stairs here. No, instead you're more akin to those orc bodies that kind of just slammed into the ground and scraped their way down. Call, you take 4 damage.
Oh.
Mendax, you take 3, and Nigel, you take 4 as well. As sharp rocks and black glass scrape and cut into your sides.
Ouch.
This is a very unpleasant mountain to go down. The door in the wall is closing. You haven't slid into danger, but you're not as far down the mountain as you would like to be. You will have to roll, I would say, perfectly on your next checks in order to have a chance to all make it in.
So is that
Is it still acrobatics?
Okay, so yeah, if you so you kind of pick yourselves up and you're gonna go for another sort of attempted slide. Go and give me an acrobatics, each of you.
You don't back down from a fight with the goddamn Wayfarers.
22.
F&A, dude. 22.
21.
15.
All right. 15. All of those are going to be good enough for you guys to regain your balance and control the slide down to the side of the citadel here. Let me see if there are any other adverse effects. As you are now on the side of the wall, you hear footsteps or a clambering up above. Not quite footsteps, kind of the clang of metal. As you look up, you see a figure kind of peering over the side, and you press yourselves up against the wall as flat as you can get. You let a few moments pass. Oh, go ahead, Nigel. Are you going to say anything or do anything? Oh, you muted yourself.
Sorry, the double click. I was
No worries.
considering doing a Wingardium Illusiosa, but decided against it since the change would probably attract more attention.
Okay. There is a figure looking down and out. And you guys, again, you press into this sort of crevices of the wall. It's not a perfectly flat one. There are some spaces you can try to push yourselves into. And you let the moments go by, looking up, waiting for the figure to pass away. And the wall is nearly all the way closed at this point. You're unsure if you even could make it if you were to go at top speed. But you can try. The humanoid figure peers back over the top, and you don't see it anymore. What's the play?
Nigel, if you cast invisibility on me, and I get close enough, I could use my scythe to teleport in. And then if it does shut, I could potentially work to open it. Or at least distract them so they stop closing it.
I think like if it's taking 6 of them to close it,
There's
I guess
20 of them.
Oh, this.
Right, but if I distract them, then they will stop
6.
pulling.
It might be easier if you get inside to open the front door.
Well, I was
don't think
thinking
you should split up.
they're all trying to close it together. If I go in invisibly and I smack them on the head or something, I make a noise, then they may be distracted and stop what they're doing and try to investigate.
I see what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay.
But the clock is ticking. We need to go.
I think once you reveal yourself in there, you're in more trouble than if we just hit the front gate as a group. And then it's one admittedly fierce and strong and brave barbarian, but I think if we go through the front gate or another entrance, it's just as risky, but at least we're together and we can back each other up that way.
It's a good point. Okay, I think I'm
I don't want to
leaning
risk
towards
getting
front
separated.
door.
And
we could
would
still
need to
maybe
sneak
creep
around
along the
side.
wall and investigate, see if there's a way around this, but I don't think we should be so hasty. We'll have to stealth it.
Okay.
I think I would concur.
Okay.
All right, so we'll stealth our way along and check out the door, the wall that's closed, see if there's a way around it, and if not, we'll work our way back is the plan to the front gate.
Sounds good. You guys slow your pace, and anytime you hear any kind of possible movement up above, it's hard to tell. Again, it is quite a distance away, but you're very keen hearing. You sort of take the time to find crevices in the wall to hide in. And you make your way over, taking your time, to where the wall is kind of opened up. It is now completely shut. And you hear, as it did, and you were still a good distance away at the time, as it did shut, there were sort of these very loud clicking and like lock turning going back and forth. As you can assume, whatever mechanism was, kind of shut. Exactly. Okay. You guys go over and you see that there is like a seam, essentially, that's not very wide, so you can't really maybe work your way in, but you see that this is the separation in the wall that existed to swing it open and close again. And there are essentially
Oh my.
I have a
They're
feeling
essentially what?
he's back.
Oh, I'm back. I had difficulty connecting there for a second, apparently. Sorry. I'm returned. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes,
Yeah,
perfectly.
that's good.
Okay, so there were I don't know when I cut out, so I'll just explain the thing again. There is the sort of separation in the wall, and there were some massive sort of hinges that were on the sides in order to supplement it opening and closing again. Rusted. You can see debris that is sort of clattered around on the ground where rust and essentially soot at this point has fallen off of the wall itself for movement. From where you are now, you don't see a way for you to make any way to get into the wall at this point.
We were going to go around to the front, though, anyway, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
if we wanted to investigate this just to see if
Okay.
there was something here, but
Gotcha. Yeah, so you investigate, you give it a really good once over to see if there's any sort of weakness in the wall, or maybe there's a wide enough gap for you to try to get in there, but you don't really see anything in this so you want to make your way around to the front, to the gate.
Yep.
yeah, let's do that. So we'll work our way back around. Yep.
Okay, sounds good. You guys, again, taking your time, making sure that you don't attract any unwanted attention, slowly make your way back to the front. And as you turn the corner, you can see the archway kind of that's standing off into the distance there. You continue as planned before, slowly but surely, steadily making progress on getting to the front entrance here, and you make it all the way to those giant sort of blackened arches. There is solid ground, obviously, beneath your feet, and there is solid ground that continues in through the archway. But yeah, you're essentially just out of sight. You're not like standing in the opening, like what's over here, but you're right up to that point where you can kind of peek through, you can move in, whatever you'd like to do.
All right. I admittedly am a little clumsy, Mendax. I think you should take the lead and go invisible, literally go invisible, so that that you can scout out the position ahead of us.
Okay, I mean, work your magic, and I will sneak up ahead.
Maybe I can. Do you think I should use? I mean, maybe you're stealthy enough, you could do it without the magic. Maybe I don't want to be stingy with my magic
He's trying to
powers by any
save his
means,
spells.
Maybe we do it without. Maybe we try no magic first. I'll do no magic first.
you're very talented.
Oh, really? Now we're being nice to Mendax. Yeah, walk up to the front door of the Orc Fortress. You're so good at it. Okay.
Okay, so Mendax, are you going to stealth forward to try and get a look at what's ahead?
I am going to stealth forward and try to get a look at what's ahead.
Okay, give me the aforementioned stealth roll.
Don't fuck me on this.
Don't roll like Call.
Fuck yes. 18 plus 5, 23.
All right, excellent. You sort of blend into the shadows of any surrounding area here as you disappear from sight. Your footsteps as silent as a cat's. I know, we'll just keep doing the cat thing. And you make your way into the archway here. Again, keeping yourself kind of flat up against the wall. You see a stone kind of pathway in front of you, about 50 feet. Actually, a little bit more than that. We'll say 100 feet total in distance between you and what you now see is a large sort of entryway to the citadel itself. Along the sides, there are pillars, and on top of those pillars are statues of kind of grotesque-looking gargoyles.
Can I? Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, no, I was just going to say the other thing that you take a special note of is by the front door are standing 4 orc figures.
Okay. Can I see? Because I'm guessing I was standing just inside, the first archway.
Mm-hmm.
And would there be? I mean, based on certain medieval structures, would there still be doorways on the inside to lead up to the ramparts?
No.
God damn these stupid orcs and their terrible architecture. It makes no sense. They should obviously have doors to the ramparts. Okay. Well, then I will sneak back to let my compatriots know that it looks like we're dealing with 4 orcs in front.
Okay. You do so.
This could be time for a humorous fart-style distraction, perhaps. Hark back to our early days and our first adventure, Carl. Maybe you could lure them to the other side with some mimicry?
Oh. Do you mean the... I could do that.
Indeed. Is there a direction that he could lure them, Mendax?
I mean, there's nothing there. It just goes directly into the door. If he's going to lead them anywhere, it would be out towards us. Now we can hide around the lip of the side, to the left of the archway, and so you'd have to draw them all the way towards us and then around to the right side.
How far is it from our side of the the corner to the other side of the corner? Like from across this whole kind of entrance area? Is it like 20 feet?
One more time? Was that? Sorry. I thought you were talking to Mendax.
Oh no, sorry. How far roughly is it across from one side to the other of like the
Yeah, about 20 feet. Yeah.
Because it's kind of like there's wall and then like there's like the pillars with the gargoyle and then like a space and then another pillar with a gargoyle and then another wall kind of thing.
Yep.
Is it about 20 feet?
Yeah. About 20 feet total in distance there.
I can always try and create a distraction with an illusion on the other side just to draw their eyes while we quickly sneak down. But it might be better to just take them out as quickly as we can. As long as there's no sign of an alarm or anything they can set off, we can just kind of...
Kind of what?
He went invisible too.
He went invisible. I guess the whereby is
And what can I say? My magical powers are so powerful. I'm not quite in control of them. Sometimes I just make things appear and disappear at will. It's hard to control such magnificence.
Quite a feat of sorcery, actually. It's really impressive.
So what you were saying is we could just go in there and take them out quickly and quietly.
Yes.
It could be something where, I mean, I have my amulet. I don't know how far you can teleport with your scythe. But if we can get close enough to them to take them out, I don't think we want them to fall in the lava, right? I mean, I don't know if the door is locked, but if it is, I would imagine that one of the gatekeepers probably has the key. And I would hate to lose that in the lava. So we'd want to at least make sure that we get close and don't throw them in the lava, is what I'm saying, Carl. Please don't chuck one of them into the lava.
Noted.
Yeah. Just
sounds like a plan.
Because I think sneaking past sounds pretty impossible or very low chance here, right? How about I start with I'll do a minor illusion to distract them on the other side of the corridor, pull their attention away, and then we can basically charge on in there, open up with an arrow and a flame bolt, and Carl can take the fight right up to them.
Works for me.
I like this.
I dig it. Give me the battle plan. What is the who's going first? What's happening?
I'm quickly just going to forage a few more stones to fill my inventory up, so I've got a full 5 of my kind of 3 or 4 pound stones
as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Of course, fuel for my catapult spell.
A very good spell to have handy.
There we go. Okay, so I'm going to start by kind of creeping up to the corner and doing a minor illusion. What do you think would get their attention? Okay, so I'm pretty sure they're not a big fan of dwarves. So I'm going to try and create an illusion. Let me just check the exact restrictions very quickly.
Yeah, no worries.
I can create a sound, it can be a voice, and it can be, I can create a person, 5-foot cube. Fantastic. Okay, so kind of at the other side, how far away are the guards from us when I'm kind of at
about
this corner?
100 feet away from you?
About 100 feet. Oh, it's too far. Okay, the illusion won't really be able to pull their eyes far enough away from me then.
But we could lure them over here with the sound, and then you could distract them with the illusion. And then Mendax could shoot them in the face.
Wise.
Not the crotch. Fine.
Nigel, as you move forward to attempt the illusion, gauge the distance, give me a perception.
14.
Okay. Give me an arcana.
Ooh. Ooh, okay. Whenever I get to roll an arcana, I know there's something interesting going on. 12. Yeah. 7 plus 5. 12.
Can I assist? I'm proficient in arcana.
I don't know if you can assist or not. I'm going to go on this one that you cannot, because this is something specifically that Nigel has a chance to notice. If you guys were trying to recall like lore or information, stuff like that, totally. This though is a little bit more innate. Nigel, we'll say this. As you move forward to, kind of assess the situation, determine whether or not, this illusion would possibly work out, or if, how it would go. You take a glance at the guards to gauge, how far away, and you see the very telltale signs of illusion magic.
Ooh.
You're not entirely certain if those 4 guards are real. If maybe some of them are real, or if they're all fake. You can't tell from the distance you're at, but you can tell certainly that there's some manner of illusion going on.
I'm going to share that with these two quickly, pulling back from the corner. There's something there. If you guys remember when there was the madman out in the desert pass, Hallelujah, he you can reveal the illusions very easily if we can pass an object through them. But from this distance, I can't really think of a way of doing that. So tossing a stone through, throwing a handful of dirt or dust. So I'm actually gonna. Is there kind of dirt or dust or some loose gravel or something?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
So each of us, okay, guys. So make sure each of you has a pocket full of this. So when you get close, you can always just throw that, and it should pass straight through anything that's an illusion.
We could also do the and then if they didn't react, we could pretty safely say they're either hard of hearing or fake.
Yeah, I think it's a solid plan. Let's go with it.
That's an excellent. Everyone would look if they heard a fart.
Yes, it's true.
Anything real would.
Yes.
It's a wonderful plan.
Also, speaking of Hallelujah Jackson, Nigel, might be a good time. Put on the shoes.
Oh, you trust me that much after what I did last time?
Well, I don't think the orcs will buy them from you.
I suppose that is true. Those 4 orcs most certainly aren't a human in a trench coat, that's for sure.
Certainly.
Okay, so...
All right, well,
not that you've ever had an experience with that.
I'm going to try and at least brush a little bit of the volcanic ash and dirt that's caked on my feet off, since I've been going around barefoot since we left Tol Karabad.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
I'll slide those. I mean, the shoes never seem to get dirty anyway, so it's purely out of respect for you, Mendax.
Well, I'm just worried about your feet at this point. I mean, although how your feet are not in ribbons, I will not know.
You had simple shoes on.
Yes, sure.
All right. We're gonna say you had simple shoes on, because if you didn't, boy oh boy, would that have been a very different type of scenario.
Are you ready
certainly, being a man of high intelligence, would not think to set out on such an adventure without basic shoes.
You know, sometimes even when we've just left the city, I'm a bit of an equipment inventory. I'm like, oh, got to stick to the.
Fair enough. No problem.
Looks down, feet are bleeding. I'm like, ooh.
I guess that's that.
Are you ready for my plan?
I'm ready.
Yes. Let's hear it.
So,
any specific area you're trying to... I'll let you finish. Go ahead.
So, here's the thing. If there's a group of 4 people and one of them farts, it smells bad to everyone, and they have to find out who did it. So, if I can, round the corner and just very sneakily leaning against the wall and then making the sound where they are, roughly, like that.
So are you targeting one of the 4 to specifically make it right, like it's right near their butt?
Yes.
Fantastic.
What is the range on mimicry?
Okay, so to even try to use that feature in the way that you want, where you throw your voice, is not in that spell. I would, or that ability. You don't have like some unnatural ability to make sounds necessarily appear in other locations. If it was close enough, I would give you the green light, right? Like if they were 10 feet away, even 100 feet though, that's a little too far.
Oh, well, I could just make a loud fart sound, and they would think that it was over here, so they would come investigate.
That is totally fine. You can absolutely do that.
Okay.
I think that's fair. Either way, I mean, if they come here and they're real, we can still be on the side, so we'd still have the drop on them. You'd still be able to at least get a swipe in with the scythe and a fireball and an arrow, I think, before they'd be able to see where we were on the outside of the door. So
very good.
I say fast.
All right.
Okay. I would like to stand up straight and tall, breathe in through my diaphragm so I get maximum airflow.
Of course. You make such a loud noise. And you do so from kind of that archway, the entryway a bit. You look over the side, you try to see they react at all, are they moving? No movement from them. There is still as ever.
So
I'll take it up a notch, perhaps.
Why not just jump out and then see if they react?
We could.
Sure.
How about I mean, either way, the alarm might go up, actually. I could simply create an illusion of a dwarf out here to lure them forwards. Let's just get out there. Let's get into it. I'm sick of pissing about with these bloody boats forcing us to waste our time. Let's kick in the goddamn door.
Wow.
All right.
Nigel.
Taking charge.
Look at him go.
This version of Nigel.
Man.
Let's fucking go.
Let's burn some bloody orcs.
All right. Who is, so you guys are going to just kind of storm the castle, as it would be. Who is leading the charge? What is the order? Are you single file? Are you spacing out? You guys certainly have enough room to all go in at the same time if you would like. It's totally up to you.
Let's still creep a little bit along the left. We don't need to necessarily announce ourselves, but just see if they react. So we don't, not super stealth, but we don't need to absolutely shout our announcement to anybody on the walls or nearabouts. I'll come in the rear.
I'll go in the front. Mendax in the middle.
Good. Absolutely.
I really don't like being in the middle after the two of them said that.
Well, that's unfortunate for you. It wouldn't be Wayfarers without the proverbial slips.
The spirit of the butcher is here still.
He is indeed. He lives through us all.
Oh yeah!
Call is just gonna power through this. Call is moving forward. You proceed through the archway, and you are within about. You're kind of at the edge of the shadow, we'll say, about to be in daylight. You guys have crept through the left side of the archway here, which spans about 10 feet total in distance. Do you want to do anything? The four in the distance by the front door have not moved.
And we keep going. No?
Okay.
Yeah,
You're going to keep going on the left, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or the left, correct. All right, got it. So you guys continue moving along. You go another 10 feet. You reach the first pillar where these grotesque kind of gargoyles are standing atop stone carvings. Are you wanting to like try to like stay as to the left as possible and kind of stick to the edges of this pathway, or are you fine with going a little bit more on the middle? There is enough room. You might be able to kind of sneak along the left side of the pillars if you wanted to, or you can go towards middle, or you can split up to you guys. The pillars themselves are probably a solid 6-8 feet in diameter. They're pretty large.
Yeah, I'm still worried about people on the walls patrolling since we've seen people up there. So I'm sticking between the pillars and the very left-hand side of the entrance corridor.
Absolutely.
I agree.
Call you as well, going for that same plan?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. You guys are able to stick to the left-hand side of the pillars. Again, no movement from the orcs in the distance. You're now 20 feet closer in total, so only 80 feet remains between you and the doors themselves. It's another 20 feet to the pillar, to the next column. Do you want to just move that distance?
I think so. I think just keep creeping.
We're going.
It's my specialty. I'll continue.
Sounds good. As you get closer here, you move another 10 feet. You're about halfway now between the two pillars. Nigel, give me another perception and another arcana.
Perception, 22.
Okay, very good.
Arcana, 24.
Excellent. So you're able to get a much better look at the four guards that are in front of the door there. And you can tell now with very, very kind of strong confidence that they are all illusions, in fact, all four of them.
All right. They're all fakes. But don't worry about those guards. They're not real.
What kind of an illusion is it? Is it because when you cast one before, you had to be within 30 feet? Can one wizard cast 4 illusions? I have no idea how these work.
It could be some sort of enchantment. There might be a magic artifact. Perhaps the entranceway itself is enchanted so that it's been imbued with a sort of permanent magic. But keep your eyes open. There could be some sort of shaman or warlock nearby.
Shaman or warlock nearby. I dig it. Okay, you guys continue forward. You reach the sort of middle pillar now. And with newfound confidence, again, to confirm and sort of corroborate with what Nigel has said, that you would certainly at this point have been spotted by the 4 in front of the door. Continuing to move forward, any other change in course of action here?
Nope. Just surveying the surroundings, and as long as I see no change, I'm continuing.
Absolutely. So you guys will say you head up another 10 feet. So you're now between the second row of pillars and the first row of pillars. Nigel, give me an arcana again.
23.
23. In tune with the magic in surroundings, you feel almost as if like a snap, as if someone kind of broke maybe a stick next to your ear. You feel the all too familiar sort of vibrations of some enchantment activating. very, very close to where you guys are. And to go along with that feeling, Call, Mendax, and Nigel, you all feel the ground beneath you kind of start to shake somewhat. You look back to the source of the shaking, and the first row of pillars, the first two, are lowering down into the ground fairly quickly. And as it touches down and is now flush with the ground, you feel and see sort of the cracking of the stone shell on the outside of the first two gargoyle statues that were there, as they take on a living form. The true guards of the entryway to the Black Citadel have awoken, and they are acutely aware that they have some visitors. But we can save that one for next time. Go ahead and leave it there for now.
Oh!
A wonderful return session to Wayfarers. Thank you, everybody, for your patience and for sticking with us and coming back for episode 15.
Oh boy. Guess we're gonna go in hot next time.
So goddamn good to be back. Holy crap.
Big agree there. Yes, next time. So I think we're still good now. 2 weeks from today, we'll be hitting up episode 16. We'll let you guys know if anything comes up in between. But we'll be starting off next session with a bang, as you've got two kind of large and scary looking gargoyles to deal with.
I would say something about the incompetence of the orcs, but I'm not in a position to talk this episode.
A fun little combat to get you guys primed up and ready for the invasion of the Black Citadel, we'll say. I hope you guys had fun. I know I did. You guys always make everything, the most mundane even, a really fun experience. I enjoyed DMing for you guys. Thanks so much. This was a really fun episode.
I'm just really looking forward to, just teasing you relentlessly until you actually land a hit with that scythe, Carl.
Well, enjoy it while you can, because I'm going to get a combo one of these days, and it's going to be glorious.
I think I might
be
be the
like
only
Happy
person
Gilmore.
you've successfully hit with it.
That's true.
Yeah, you haven't gotten a true damage roll out of that scythe quite yet. You have yet to christen the blade with the blood of your enemies.
Just remember, the orc's head is its home. It belongs in its home. Just send it home, okay? Send it home, Happy.
Go to your home. You go to your home.
For your home site?
For your home.
Thank you very much, chat, for tuning in and bringing the hype and the fire to us. We will be back, not next Thursday, but the one after that, 9 p.m. Pacific time for Wayfarers episode 16. Thank you, everyone, for participating, for your jokes, and for being a part of this ever-evolving story. We will see you on the next episode of the hottest D&D show on Twitch. It's Wayfarers.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hoorah.